What's up with you? The sound was messed up again. Believe that or not, we didn't have the mic engaged. There we go. There we go. There we go. Look, we got a war update, and we watched Donald Trump. President Trump. He pinned the Medal of Honor on Major General James. See, his name's right there on the thumbnail right there. James Capers. So he was a president today. Today he decided to be a president. First South Carolina native to be awarded the Medal of Honor. And we got into this thing about DMX. See, this is what I'm talking about. We had conversations, people talking about DMX. I had another guy, he left me a inappropriate comment talking about DMX. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, you arguing with me over DMX? Like, it mean that much to you? Does it really mean that much to you? And see, this is man right here. We're going to certainly get in on Trump, but let me just say this. This is a person who deserves to be honored simply by the way that he carried himself. Second lieutenant, served as a team leader, 3rd Force Reconnaissance Company, doing a 4-day recon patrol in 1967. Capers and his team were tasked with a location, a North Vietnamese base camp. During the mission, his team encountered enemy fire and mines which left him severely wounded. Despite this, he led his team to their extraction site and ensured all his men were safe before he finally boarded the helicopter. He was the first African American to lead a Marine reconnaissance company and receive a battlefield commission. He was born in 1937, enlisted and came into the Marine Corps at 18. In 2010, he was awarded the Silver Star. Now, you got to understand also, this is doing Jim Crow. This is doing Jim Crow. This is also doing period of times people didn't want to give black people awards. We see that now with the current guy in charge. He won't promote the blacks. Typically, the Medal of Honor must be presented to the recipient within 5 years of the recognized action unless Congress waives the requirement. Lindsey Graham introduced legislation that was signed by President Trump to drop the statutory time requirement. So Senator Graham and Donald Trump, you know what I'm saying? They see the midterms coming up. And look, this guy deserves this award, the Medal of Honor. He deserves this award. But finally, now they want to do their jobs. Lindsey Graham's finally doing something. It took him long enough. This man was still alive. Normally, the Medal of Honor, you don't normally get that alive. Normally, you've done an act of such a rare accomplishment that normally you don't get these awards while you're still alive. Normally, you just don't receive them. And we see President Trump has finally decided to be a president. Well, this is what a president does. Finally, he's decided to be president of the United States. This is what you expect out of a president. Not only that, Lindsey Graham, not only that, this guy got screwed over. I'm saying, I'm glad he's still alive, but damn, he got a battlefield commission, a Silver Star, and finally he got the Medal of Honor. How old is this guy? How old is this guy? How old is this guy? Just think about that, man. All this man did was serve his country. Yeah, people up here talking about DMX. And see, that's how you know a lot of these dudes was raised by single moms. You just know these dudes are simps. Nothing to say anything. DMX is DMX, but come on. We don't need to honor him. What has he done that's honorable? Now, this man, he's 88 years old, born in South Carolina, born under Jim Crow racism. All his awards were not given him because of his color. They did not want to give him his appropriate respect. They didn't want to give this man what he deserved. First Black Marine to earn a battlefield commission. A battlefield commission. That's you out there on the battlefield. That's what people have to recognize your achievement. That's where they can deny you. That's where your race. Let me tell you what a battlefield commission is. That's where someone can tell you, you black, you can't be a team leader. And you accept it. We under Jim Crow. He was enlisted, instant officer, instant promotion. He became into the commanding ranks. Joined the military as a enlisted black soldier under Jim Crow and racism. He went out into the field of battle. The field of battle. And bam, they were pinning lieutenant stripes on his arm. He exceeded expectations, and he was so valiant. And he demonstrated a bravery that's so rare and uncommon. They campaigned for this black man. They went against the rules to pin lieutenant stripes on him. This is a leader, sir. We know about your racism. We know you don't want to promote these blacks. But this guy, we have to give him a battlefield commission. Not only that, this man's 88. This man had to wait this long to get a Medal of Honor that he earned then in the field of battle. And you up here talking about the DMX. Where the DMX people at? Where are the DMX people? This man didn't cook his fucking brain. He didn't boil his brain in crack cocaine. No, this man's 88. And he hung around. And hats off to Lindsey Graham. You finally done something right. It took you long enough. And that's what a politician can do. You see that? It's because of Lindsey Graham and Lindsey Graham's connection. He was able to get this guy what he deserved. A black boy joins the military under Jim Crow and segregation, goes in as a common enlisted soldier. When he's tested on the field of battle, they watched his performance and was so impressed. He was awarded the rank of lieutenant, a battlefield commission. That's rare. That's rare. That is something that you celebrate. That is something you show love. You got to respect that. Now we're talking. Trump, you finally done something right. It took you long enough. Now, do you want to be president now? Do you want to keep playing around with Benjamin Netanyahu? You want to keep playing around with the clown shows, with the racism? Are you tired of that, Trump? You're ready to be a president. Now you finally you're a president. And this was long overdue. Long overdue. All the people that say race don't matter. You see this man's 88. He did not take a hostile resentment of his country. He went in and he served his country admirably, above and beyond, and he saved lives. And those white service people came back and told the tales of James Caper, a black sailor, a black soldier, that on the field of battle when tested, he passed the test. He saved their lives. Because of his race, they didn't want to give a man his proper awards. God bless America. There were those who he got a battlefield commission. I'm sure those people might have been processed out. There was probably those over them who didn't want to see them award this black sailor. What are we doing? We're living under Jim Crow and racism. What are you doing trying to give this guy a battlefield commission? I have no choice. I have no choice. The rank of lieutenant. His medals were withheld. He finally got a silver medal. And Lindsey Graham, believe it or not, Lindsey Graham finally got it right. And I'm sure his people have been pushing for this forever, and they've been being denied. And Lindsey Graham, he's got the ear of the president, and President Trump, salute to you. You probably bypassed your defensive secretary. I'm not sure if he would want to see this, but he got long overdue a Medal of Honor. If you notice, he harbors no resentment. He harbors no anger toward his country. He's not walking around mad at the world. He got screwed. This guy got screwed. Long overdue. And yeah, I'll say it again. DMX, are you joking? DMX? You're joking, right? For all the people who think there are not no valiant blacks, there are no above the call of duty blacks. Well, there you go, right there in your fucking face. We don't all smoke fucking crack till our earlobes bleed. We don't all do that. Some of us do. We don't all do that. We don't all let the pressures of racism destroy us and control us. This man didn't do that. He dealt with this. This is probably let me say, I know what he is. I can tell you what he is. This is a Baptist right here. It's a church man. Church man. Let me see. What's his faith? Deep Christian. Deep Christian faith. And matter of fact, his autobiography, Faith Through the Storm, the memoirs of Major James Capers Jr. And I think I will be purchasing that. I probably will be purchasing that today. Faith Through the Storm. Yeah, he resisted that. There are those out there who are going to agitate and spew forth a rage and a hate and an anger and a resentment. But next time you hear one of these clowns, next time you see one of them doing it, you remind them of James Capers, 88 years old. Let me see, obviously, I don't know. Married brother, let me see, grandfather, might be great-grandfather. Family man, let me see. What we got right here. Married his wife, Dottie Capers, for 50 years. See that? One man, one woman. You see that? Had one son. His son has passed away, and his wife has passed away. And y'all, we need to reach out to this brother, wherever you are. Find out what's going on with this brother and reach out and show him some love. And, and that's what we talk about, this BT. And we got people up here talking about the BT Awards and NBA Youngboy and the foolishness and the jailhouse and Bootsy, I need a pardon Trump and thugging and DMX. Reach out to James Capers. Have a conversation. This man, remember, this man lived during Jim Crow. He knows what it was. He didn't get he don't have an axe to grind. He doesn't hate his country. Salute. Salute to this brother. Medal of Honor. And he forced the white supremacists. This is what I'm talking about. He forced the white supremacists. He forced him. He forced him to recognize his greatness. So even they couldn't deny him. It took him a while. Outlived his wife and his son. That is wild. That is absolutely wild. Christian man. Has faith in the Lord. This is someone who deserves the respect and the honor. You're saying Trump's a draft dodger. Well, maybe Trump's deciding to be president. How about that? Look, hats off. They did not have to do this. Look, you get that Medal of Honor 5 years. What did it say? 5 years after the deed, and if you don't get it then, they don't come back. They came back. They saw a wrong and they made it right. Hats off to Lindsey Graham. I know these guys are scrambling because of the midterms, but we got to also commend them when they do right. And I want to see more of this from Trump. I want to see a president who's being a president. All of the yelling and the screaming and the Epstein files and all of that nonsense. I want to see my president doing what he's supposed to do. He said if Trump had a choice, he wouldn't be there. Wow. 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 I don't know about that. Said he only did it for the midterms. Yeah, I don't know. We're so divided now, man. I don't look at it like that. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Right here. I don't know why he's attacking this Mr. Capers. This is ridiculous. Appalachian rattlesnake. This is a white guy. Everyone knows valiant people come in all sides. Who said they didn't? Who said they didn't, brother? If you look back in history, you can find thousands of Black Americans who went above and beyond doing that, during those days that was real tough for Black. You're right. Look, now you know what? You thank you, Mr. Rattlesnake. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Rattlesnake. Let's think of the thousands of James Capers who just simply, A, they didn't live as long, 88 years old, and B, the racism and the Jim Crow and the discrimination they had to succumb to was just too much for them to take. But believe me, when they were tested, they passed the test and they saved lives. And there are probably white sailors, soldiers out there right now who can tell you tales of people that they served time with, they were in the service with at the time, who they watched do the unbelievable, and yet because of their color were not recognized. Well, look, on this one, they did, and hats off to Trump. And this is the best thing I've seen from Trump. I'm glad Trump decided to move away from his racism and say, hey, I don't think that's a good idea for the country. And give this man his proper reward. He deserves it. So how many people are ignorant about this, man? Yeah, that's our media, though. That's us. That's us. We don't respect. Look, that's us. That's the Black community, man. What are you talking about? I've been saying that. They're talking about DMX. A guy sent me a nasty email, filthy email. Just a disrespectful, filthy email voicing his dissatisfaction with me questioning DMX being a street name. Are you joking? And I said, bro, you got to be joking, right? And then, you do have to think, do some people, not all, but do some people even know what honor is? Do you know what an honorable man is? Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't see a distinction. There are those among us, they are rare, but they serve us, they live with us. We're allowed to witness them, and they serve with honor. They are exceptional individuals. And those are the ones we need to talk about the greatness. We don't need to talk about no goddamn DMX. Are you joking? Here we go already. Here comes the racism. You see that? Instead of this man lauding this man who served his country and is now the freedom that he enjoys is because of men like him. He's up here espousing more his, you see what I'm saying? More separatist racism. There you go. Semper Fi. There you go. That's a fellow serviceman. Semper Fi. Marines share a kinship that's different than the other troops. They were too much running for me, brother. Way too much PT for me, but they are what they are, and they get all the women though. Now this guy, that ain't his. They still says, man, married one time. But when the Marines, most of the women, they go after the Marines. Here we go. Like the stream, man. For a moment, we can all salute those who received the Congressional Medal of Honor. For a moment, we can come together as a nation. For a moment, we can forget our differences, and we can talk about what brings us together, and we can honor those who've honored us. And we're talking about a man doing Jim Crow racism, a man who had every reason to spit and have a disdain for his country, a man who had limited opportunity, probably witnessed racism firsthand growing up. He joined the military, accepted an enlisted man status. When asked to participate in Vietnam on the field of battle, the call of duty rang into his heart, and he defied logic as he destroyed the enemy and cleared a path to safety for his entire troops. And on that day, he was in such a rare form, a black service member was awarded a battlefield commission. And he broke through the ranks. He cracked the walls of racism by his duty. It was undeniable. His duty, what he did in the field of battle under fire. He didn't run. He didn't abandon his group, his unit. He didn't run. He didn't abandon his group. He didn't say, hey, these white people, I'm out of here. I'm black into, they don't like me. No. He showed a level of bravery that very few people have. And he cleared a path to the extraction point. Despite being wounded with shrapnel, he kept going. He refused to stop. And he was the last one to get on the chopper. He was willing to take whatever fire so that his unit would be saved. And when they got back, they told the tales of bravery. And he got a battlefield commission. And because of his race and racism, they didn't want to give him a Medal of Honor. But his family, well, now he lost a son and a daughter. But his Christian faith held him together, And hats off to Lindsey Graham. Thank you for finally doing something. You've been there long enough. Lindsey Graham used his clout to put this man on the stage with the president, and he was awarded, long overdue, a Medal of Honor. And God bless this man, 88 years old. He's there to receive it. And he's also a symbol and a light and a guiding light for all of us. It's inside of us. It's up to us. Do we want to possess it? Do we want to bring it out? It's in all of us. He's a symbol. And this is what we're about. And finally, President, today, for this, how about this? For this moment, I'll grant you that. Donald Trump, for this moment, suspended his racism, and he embraced a fellow American and used his power of the office to grant this man the recognition he deserved. And it's long overdue. It's long overdue. And I would cite the black community. For every NBA young boy and DMX, for every one of those guys, how about 10 shouts for the James Capers? And as the guy said in the chat box, the white guy, the thousands of James Caper Juniors who unfortunately succumbed to racism. They weren't strong enough, and they were unable to have their stories told. They were unable to have their stories told. Like the stream. We need more of this. This is penicillin for America right here. What you see right here, this is the shot we need. This is healing. This is how you heal. This is how you show people that we can't judge each other by race. We judge each other by what we do. Trump's doing right here. I hope he continues. Trump is doing the right thing. Do the right thing. Lindsey Graham, do the right thing. Thank you. Do the right thing. Y'all are idiots. He's only doing this because he needs blacks for the midterms. There are those who are going to be cynical about what's happening. There are going to be those among us who are like that. Did you know food stamps originated in West Virginia in the mountains because of the poverty? Because of so much fire. It had nothing to do with black people. Food stamps were created. It was JFK. JFK started the program in the Appalachian Mountains, where it was ripe with despair and starvation. John F. Kennedy started a program called food coupons. Food coupons. Had nothing to do with black people, even though the white supremacist tries to attach it to black people. Nothing to do with that. And this is what we are as a country. This is what a Trump, a 79-year-old man and an 88-year-old man, one's a president, one's a Medal of Honor winner. This is what we are as a country. We're not the nonsense the mindless blathering of a JD Vance, the absolute puppet show of a Fox News. We're not those things. We've never been those things. Watching Fox News is like watching the Muppets. It's a complete program display of foolishness. It's no news to it. It's no news in it. You ever seen Muppets on Ice? Remember that they had a skating rink and the Muppets would come and they would all be on ice skates? That's Fox News. And if Trump is smart, he'll stop going on Fox News. He'll stop. Well, he did good today, but, and but, and but, and but, and but, and but, let's not forget, the Iranian deal. Why did we go to war? Why did we go to war? The Strait of Hormuz was open before Trump attacked Iran. And he talks about he took their leaders down. He destroyed their leaders. Why did we go to Iran? They didn't have a nuclear weapon then. They can't have one now, or they don't have one now. What was the deal for? Look at all that money. How many lives died? And when you keep breaking down this peace deal, what's in it for America that they didn't have before? We're fewer people. We're lesser civilians, lesser lives. More, people have lost their lives. Money has been spent. $300 billion to repair Iran. We're going to repair Israel. You're going to be paying for all of that. We went to war for what? Only to reward them to get out of it? They get to do as they choose. High gas prices. He just said if the reserves run out, you're going to see real prices. They've been using oil reserves to keep the prices down. And they said if we continue this war and we run out of our reserves, then you're going to have to go and find oil other places. Then you're going to see the prices. Oil might be $25 a gallon. It's going to go through. Not only that, oil, it's for so many things, more than just your gas, your car. It's the lifeblood of this world we live in. All of that for what? For nothing. Obama did it right the first time. Trump screwed it over. Trump messed it up. And people are saying, look, no disrespect to Mr. Capper, a man of faith. He's a wonderful beacon of hope for many of us, and he should be. But people are saying Trump only did it because of the midterms. They're saying Trump is afraid of the midterms. He know his ass is on the line, so he did it. Him and Lindsey Graham. Isn't that something? If you're a black man, you don't get your proper respect unless someone can leverage it to the benefit of them. That's it. You don't get a man what he deserves unless you can leverage it. It's a photo op for you to try to make yourself look like you care about all the people. And what about his base? There are those among us now. There are those among us, those are white, a lot of white MAGA, the hardcore white MAGA, the methers, the ones who, the fat boys, fetties, the hardcore mega boys, little offshoot groups, the fetties, fentanyl crew fentanyl. Put it in your vein, boys. Bake your brain. What about those guys, the fentanyl brain bakers? Cook up some crack. What about those? They're not going to like Trump hugging a black man. Isn't that what Pete said? They're not going to like the president hugging a black man. I don't care what he did. That goes against what they believe in. They want to cook their fentanyl. They want to cook the fat. Cook that fat. Give me a good cook. Let me sit down right here. I don't like Negroes. I don't like these immigrants. Let me get give me a nice bowl of fentanyl. Add a little fentanyl to my crack. What about those guys? Those are the mega. That's the mega morons, right? That's the mega, right? That's what they're about, right? That's what they're about. What are they going to do about, Trump's on the, look at this right here. Look at Trump. Look at that. You smoke fentanyl. Trump's up here holding on to a black man. What the hell? That ain't what you voted for. Get rid of this DEI. Get rid of these. What are these Negroes doing on stage with Trump? That's going to mess with your cooked crack. The put it in my vein boys. Mega boy, I'm a mega man. Put it in my veins. What about y'all? I know that that's going to make you guys upset. That's like a betrayal. That's like a betrayal. Trump betrayed his base. He's betrayed his base. What the hell is Trump doing? Hell you doing hanging on to that Negro? But he showed today he was a president. I got to give him credit. He was a president today. Well, for this moment, look, this is what a president does. Hats off to Trump. I'm glad you did that, Trump. And Trump, you and Lindsey Graham, you did what, you didn't have to do it. Let me tell you this. They don't have to do it. They could have hid behind the rules. They could have said it's been too long. And Trump could have said, hey, my base, my racist base is going to get pissed at me if I give this man a Medal of Honor. And Trump said, no. Good Christian man, good God-fearing brother. I mean, man done sat up here. He harbors no resentment, has no hate in his heart. He's married for 50 years, lost his wife, outlived his son. He's 88. He got to put his uniform back on. Look at his medals. Hats off to the people who helped him and dressed him up, got him together. He ain't an alcoholic. He ain't on no drugs. He's a good Christian man. He believes in the faith. And Trump, you did the right thing. It took you a minute, but you did the right thing. And I think about the fentanyl that's running through West Virginia, the hills of West Virginia, and they're sticking their veins thick with fentanyl sticks. What are we going to do as a country, man? What are we going to do? We're better than that. I know we are. I know we're better than that. There's more to this than what we are dealing with. Like the stream, brother. Hold on, we're going to drop the join link down here. Let me go ahead and drop this link. If you think Trump finally got it right, let me know. If you think Trump, this is just a photo op, we got screwed over. I saw somebody in the chat say we just gave Iran $300 million. Said Trump got used by Benjamin Netanyahu. We went over to Iran to do what? The strait was already open. We lost lives and money for what? Look at that. Woo. Let me tell you something. For you to say that, though, Brenda, you come on, Brenda, think about what you're saying, though. No, Brenda, I get it, but come on, Brenda. We have to believe that this is genuine. I mean, you can't just stand there and say it's the total photo. To say that, Brenda, means you know Trump. There's no truth to Trump. You know that he's totally doing this for a political ploy for him to try to get votes. Now, I'm not going that far, but clearly that's what Brenda believes. Now, the reason she believes that, though, is the way he's behaving, though. He hasn't behaved like the type of president who's above that. So you can't really get mad at Brenda. She's just basically telling you, this guy, I don't have no faith in this guy. That's so sad, and it's sad for. Let me tell you who it's really sad for. It's sad for Major James Caper Jr. It's really sad for him because a part of getting the Medal of Honor is meeting the president, and because he got jacked around and dogged out and discriminated against, but he still stayed in his faith. He still loved the Lord. He still stayed affirmed to his Christianity. He finally gets it under Trump. So I'm not going to blame him for that. I'm not going to blame him for that. And somebody brought up Obama. How come Obama didn't do it? You do have, hey, where you at, Obama? I think you do have to look at that. I think you do have to say, Obama, why didn't you? I'm sure somebody brought this to you. Lindsey Graham was in office when I'm sure somebody suggested it. Why didn't you do it? Were you afraid? I'm going to be for real. Some of us, we get into these offices, man, we're afraid. We get afraid. I don't know, but if Biden didn't do it, you're right. That's sad, man. That's sad. This man was ignored. He got a battlefield commission for getting out there doing what he was supposed to do. Like the stream, man. We won't put the join link out here. We'll take your thoughts. You think Trump's just doing this? You think Donald Trump's just doing this as a photo op? Or you think he truly believes in America, he truly loves his country, and this gives him a certain amount of joy to award this man? You think so? They're not only 5 years apart in age. Two men who took different journeys. One black man, he joined the military. He joined the Marines. The Marines, one of the more prestigious groups. He could have joined the Air Force. He joined the Marines. He went to Vietnam. He didn't dodge. He went to Vietnam. And he was out there sleeping in those rice fields, not knowing what's going to happen. And he went above and beyond the call of duty. And he deserves it. And Trump, because of Trump's behavior, there are people who are skeptical and say Trump is only doing this for a photo op. Isn't that sad? Isn't that sad? That's sad that someone doing this moment, a moment of pride, you should feel pride when you see this photo, this thumbnail. But because of Trump's bad behavior, he's robbed a lot of people of really enjoying this moment. Trump has robbed America from really being able to cherish and enjoy this moment with his horrible behavior, with his incompetence and mindless mistakes. Yeah, he's got the West Virginia fat boys. He's got the fatties with their MAGA hats on and their hatred for black people. He's got the fatties, the West Virginia fat boys. He's got those people happy. But what about the rest of America? What about the rest of America? Do they matter? Do they count? Do they matter? Do they count? Do we care? Do we care? We don't care. Like the stream, man. Oh, let me stick this up here. It just comes down to what you want for your country, man. I want us to be one. We're all Americans. That's what I want. When you see, look at that thumbnail, that's what I've always wanted. I want my president showing America the greatness of America. That's what I want. I don't want the president running around with Benjamin Netanyahu starting wars, attacking the press, dropping tomahawks on girls' schools. I don't want that. Thinking that they could make Iran quit. Now they realize they can't do it. They run out of their oil reserves. Gas prices go through the roof. This guy right here, look, check this out. He says, you hate America. Why? Because I show Donald Trump granting a black man who lived, he was born in Jim Crow and dealt with racism his whole life. So I hate America because Donald Trump, he dodged the draft. He's doing all types of stuff. He's a felon. He was found liable for the woman. While this man was out serving his country, Donald Trump was running up in department store dressing rooms, doing all types of just absolutely despicable things. He hung out with Jeremy Epstein. He's in the Epstein files. This guy says, I hate America because I'm saying Major James Caper unfortunately has to get an award, but Trump is the president. And I think that that's bad. And I think he deserves better. Oh, man, you hate America, though. Why do I hate America? You're the one on fentanyl. You got the fat stick in your neck. You got the fat stick in your neck. How do I hate America? I think you hate yourself, and I think you hate America. That's why you like Trump. That's why you like Trump. That's why you see no difference between these two men. You don't see a difference, but I see a big difference between these two men. And Trump couldn't have took that. You know what I'm saying? When you look at a Trump couldn't take that. He couldn't take a Jim Crow. Trump was born rich. How many women have Trump What did he say he does to women? He grabs them, right? Trump says when he sees women, he just reaches down and grabs them. You think that's what Major Caper did? You think he was running? He was married for 50 years. Trump claims to be a Christian. He can't even hold a Bible straight. He held the Bible up like he was changing an air filter. He claims to be a Christian or a man of God. Major Capers is a man of God. That's a man of faith. And somebody say Trump. Nobody's saying that about Major Capers. Nobody's saying Major Capers is doing this. He's only doing this for the photo. Nobody's saying that. Nobody's saying that. They're saying it about Trump, though. They're saying it about Trump. They say Trump's only doing this because he fears the midterms. When did you talk about? Look, we got the join link posted, man. If you want to hide your racism and hang out in the chat box, I'm not surprised. If you are smart enough, if you can get the FET stick out your neck, if you could take that FET stick, pull it out of your neck and come up here and have a rational conversation, let's have one. I don't think you can do that. The Fat Boys. Who's the Fat Boys? A bunch of hardcore Trump supporters who are addicted to fentanyl and walk around with an attitude harassing black people. The Fat Boys. The Fetties. Like the stream, brother. Yeah, the chat ain't not everybody supports Trump. Yeah, the chat is particular toxic. Some of the stuff they're saying. Some of the stuff they're saying about Trump, man. Look, like the stream, man. Like the stream, man. Support the platform. He said some black guys in the Fat Boys. Probably. I'm sure there are black MAGA supporters who bake their brain with meth and fat. I'm sure they are. Finally, Trump gets it right. And you would hope that once Trump starts, this is what a president's done. This is the message you want to send our kids, man. This is the message you want to send America, that we're one and that we reward greatness. We don't care what color your skin is. This is the message you want to send. But these MAGA people, they're attacking me. They're so full of hatred. They're mad at Trump. They don't like Trump doing this. That's a black man. And these same people who say that about Major Capers, they couldn't take 2 years of Jim Crow. They'd be running their ass to Europe. They couldn't have survived Jim Crow for fucking 90 days. They say, okay, you live under Jim Crow now. You got to get in the back of the bus. You can't live in this neighborhood. You can't eat here. Your kids got to go to these horrible schools. They've been running their ass back to Ireland or wherever the fuck. You see what I'm saying? But they do that to black people. And maybe it's God's will that Major Capper gets this award now in the heart of a racist president in a racist country. A country that's been divided up with the Fat Boys, the Fetties, a bunch of drug-addicted MAGA supporters who stick fentanyl, pieces of fentanyl in their necks and harass blacks and demand to take the country back despite the fact they're on food stamps and have a fentanyl addiction. The fetties is okay, I'll tell you. Who's complaining about a black man receiving a Medal of Honor? A group called the Fetties on Reddit, the Fat Boys, a racist group of MAGA supporters filled with MAGA hats and scarves. The Fetties, the Fat Boys. It's an offshoot of MAGA, but they're there. They have baseball bats and boots. They walk around with baseball bats and MAGA hats and work boots. And you guys just don't want to deal with that. You just don't. You want to live in your little fantasy world where blacks are DEI. And if I see a black pilot, I wonder if Charlie Kirk, we know he's not alive, right? We know he's not alive, right? We know what Charlie Kirk, we know he's not alive, right? He got shot in the neck. We know he's not alive, but if he was alive, would he say, James Capper, this major Capper is not qualified? Would he be telling the world that he's not qualified? He's black. When I see a black general, I know he's DEI. He's black. You think Charlie Kirk could have got a battlefield commission? When tested, he was held back and discriminated against because of his race. But when tested on the field of battle, Major Capper showed a level of competence and bravery that's foretold in books. He took his entire unit to a hospital under fire, mines, shrapnel, people behind him. He still, like a hero, helped his fellow servicemen get on a helicopter while he shielded them, and then he got on the helicopter last, and because of his race, they didn't want to give him the Medal of Honor because of his race. They gave him a battlefield commission, and I'm telling you right now, at the time, they didn't want to do that. That's a black man. So whoever did that, and I can go look, probably find out, they retaliate. If that was a white person, they went after that white person's career. I know they did. Maybe this was a white person whose Christianity superseded, his racism, and he saw what this man had done, and he said, no, we got to commend this. I'm sure his commander in chief retaliated against him. Guy in the chat already said it's a DEI medal. You saw that? You saw that already? They're attacking this brother. I hope this brother is watched, because that Medal of Honor is going to drive a lot of the fat boys and all of these different offshoot men of MAGA. It is MAGA. The only people who have a problem with this man getting this award is MAGA. The only Nadia, several people have said it's the DEI. I didn't say that. I've already made my statement about him. You guys dabble in racism, then you get mad because I get what you don't want to accept that you're the one that's pushing racism, but you want to dabble in it. You don't want to. You want to pull your Charlie Kirk out and say, when I see a black general, I know he's DEI. Well, Charlie Kirk said that. Charlie Kirk said that. Charlie Kirk said that. I commended Trump. And I said, Trump, you did a good thing today. You're trying to continue to be presidential. Now, where my opinion comes is I think Trump suspended his racism. But I think that's just for the moment. I think he'll go right back to being that before he has his dinner. Before Trump can sit and have his soup and anti-cholesterol lettuce. He probably go back to being what he is. He says, you know what? And MAGA is so smart. The MAGA people, they're so smart. Listen to this. Listen. This is genius. So you only think the Republicans are racist, which is racist. Which is racist in itself. How it See that what I mean by a meth? You got the meth stick in your neck. You guys don't mess with enemies, man, or fentanyl. Because the shit y'all be saying, man, come on, man. How in the hell? Oh, man. Oh, man. Woo! Like, share, support, man. Trump finally did the right thing. Do you want to see more of this? You want to see more of this or not, huh? Uh-oh. Look at that. I voted independent. We had a choice to choose between bad and bad. I chose neither. When Trump ran and won, it brought out the toothless. The toothless. Brian says it's just a publicity stunt. And I think that's Trump's fault. Trump. I think that the fact that people think you're just going through the motions, I think that's because of the way they see you as a president. They don't look at you as a normal president. That's terrible, Trump. And I'm telling you right now, that's horrible, man. I wish that wasn't true. They don't see you as president. They see you as something less than that. And look, hats off to Mr. Caper. Look, he's right up there, right next to Trump. Yeah, they can see that. Hey, let me tell you guys something. The chat box, people can look in the cloud and they can see your hatred. You guys think you're running some type of you're clever. You're not being clever, man. All you're doing is exposing what you really. People suspect you guys, the MAGA, you suspect you guys are racist. And you come in here with all this hate, and this is DEI, and you think like Charlie Kirk, and Trump thinks like Charlie Kirk. That's why a lot of people say this is just performative. I'm glad he doesn't. I don't think Major Capper hates anybody. I think he's a lesson and a tale for all of us. We're all flawed. We all make mistakes, but even though things happen in his life, he didn't let that sidetrack him. He didn't get into the bad things. He's outlived his wife. He's outlived his son, and he has a smile on his face despite the absolute racism that he faced. That's legitimate racism, to not give that man the award that he deserves. That's legitimate. And growing up in Jim Crow, a black man, and probably weighing his options and what the family could do, he joined the Marine Corps. And when the call of duty, when he heard it, he stood up and he saved his whole unit. And they had to break tradition and give this man a battlefield commission. And look at him now. Look at him now. He didn't go down the negative, the trail, the hate. He didn't crawl into a liquor bottle. He certainly didn't stick he didn't put the fat in his neck. And he deserves it. He deserves to be awarded. Darlene, I don't know, Darlene. He has a story. I don't know. He does. He has a movie out. I'll probably check out the movie. I don't know when, how many times he was denied. I don't know why. I think that's racism. I think the black community fails men like him when they don't respect him. This man should be on stage. This man should be on that stage, and he should be given 2-3 minutes of respect. That's what he deserves. If you're going to bring out the sexy reds, and they will, if you're going to laud the degenerates, the sexy reds, the young boy, if you're going to look up to people like that, show some love to this man. A lot of people still suspect Trump. This is nothing more than a photo op. This is Trump trying to exploit the political system. He's doing this. Like the stream. Here we go. I'm not playing no clip. We don't play racist over here. I'm not playing a Charlie Kirk clip. Charlie Kirk is a racist, bro. I know you don't like that. I know you enjoyed him. Which makes people wonder, why would you enjoy what he's saying? He took a bunch of stats and created a narrative. And he had an insane appeal to the white supremacists. He appealed to the white supremacists in ways very few people could. And that's why you guys like him. This is our president, brother. President Trump. And this Iranian deal, man, it looks terrible. Darlene's in there making excuses. Why don't you just love America, Darlene? Just love the country. This partisanship. You know, when you're a partisan like that, you don't love America. When you walk around talking about you MAGA, you a fat boy, I'm a fentanyl smoking MAGA supporter. I put the methylene in my vein. I open my vein up and I shoved the methylene needle deep. Hey, you don't love America. You poke yourself with the methylene and it makes you foam at the mouth. But you're a MAGA boy and you love Trump. Yeah, $300 billion. No, 300. Oh, yes, right. No, you're right. 300 billion he's sending over to Iran. They're going to fund terrorism behind it. He's going to rebuild Iran. He's going to rebuild Israel, and that's going to come out of you. That's why your health care is being cut. They finna cut your Social Security. They finna cut your all of these things, these programs that we did to try to help kids. They finna cut all of that. They finna cut all of that so they can rebuild something that was built, 6 months ago. Hey, he said, what's methylene? Methylene's your sister. They put the methylene needle in the neck. And there we have it, man. A lot of people not buying into it, though. They said Trump's just doing this. Yeah, it looks like he surrendered and he's paying $300 billion to Iran. Man, that's a lot of bread. And you know that girls' school, they're gonna have to pay all that type of restitution to all of those Republican Guard members, Iranian Republican Guard who lost their kids. That's millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. Meanwhile, you're going to lose your health care. You're not going to have any health care. Your kids are going to suffer. Your children are going to suffer. They're going to go way back because of this. And what did we get from this Iranian war? What did we get? What's in it for us? We didn't get anything for this war. So it turns out they are who's on the welfare queen. Yeah, they did start it in West Virginia. It's pretty bad too. You want to see poverty go? America, we had a period of time, bro. We had some rampant poverty. The food stamps. That was in West Virginia. Those were whites. I think JFK put that together to feed whites, not blacks, whites. Feed them, something. They were starving. And now the meth needle. They went from eating on the food stamp to now they're eating the meth needle. Yeah, West Virginia is Yeah, meth is all over that place, eating that whole place up. Now they're eating the meth needle, the methylene. They're taking the methylene box and they're sticking a meth needle in their necks. And they're putting on MAGA hats and voting for Trump. The methylene, the fentanyl, methylene. Yes, eating all that up. Mississippi too. They're eating all that up. Methylene is eating up America. Yeah, you're right. They getting rid of that. No, radical. They're catching that. No, I didn't know that. No, they running down on a lot of this healthcare, a lot of these healthcare scams. I've seen I had a family member that was in a assisted living facility, and I remember on Saturdays I used to go there. I'd see 4 or 5 of them white lab coats. Those doctors got white lab coats, and they would be making their rounds. Now remember this: they would be coming there, about 9 of them, and they would go all around that old folks. It wasn't a nursing home; it was a assisted living care facility. They would knock on those doors and go see Miss Tina and go see Miss Linda, and they go see all of these old people, and then they would charge Medicare for seeing them. Yeah. Now, man, I'm telling you, I used to go in there and I said, damn, I didn't know that. That's a nice little, if you can get it, that's a nice little hustle, man. You're a physician. You got your own private practice. And then for Saturday, what you finna do? Tom, what are you going to do? Well, I'm going to go by Patterson's assistant care. I got 150 patients. Yeah, I'm going to go in, talk to them about 20 minutes, go over the medicines, wellness check, and you're gonna get refunded like $700, bruh. Because I was like, damn, they making money like that? Yeah, methylene. Unfortunately, going to see methylene ain't a good idea. She's passed away. But no, man, no, I'm saying, so when you say all of that stuff, man, well, man, it's a lot out there. Because no, the people do need to be seen. But damn, but that's their fee though, man. They come out there to see you. The Viet Cong made a foolish attempt to capture Major Caper's unit. They made an attempt that they would not live to regret. It was a foolish attempt that resulted in them losing their lives. They underestimated this enlisted black. He was a Marine, this enlisted black Marine. They underestimated him. And they thought that they could take him down with the others. Unfortunately, they found out the hard way. During that day, this young black kid who was a victim of Jim Crow and segregation in the military found it within his heart, and he answered the call of duty. And he dealt devastating blows against the Viet Cong. And he was so honorable that he received a battlefield commission. That is excellence in the field of battle. And a lot of people, they talk and talk, you talk and talk, you talk and talk and talk. Have you ever been in battle? Have you ever been tested under fire? Have you ever been in battle? He performed and he saved lives. And he was wounded, heavy shrapnel, but he kept going. And he cleared a field to the extraction point. Meanwhile, he fought the enemy as they tried to capture the unit. And he provided cover so that the rest of the people could board the chopper. And once they were on the chopper, only then would he render himself available to be saved. But before that, he was willing to leave it all on the field of battle. That is a man of distinction. And I believe his spirit burns inside the heart of every American. And it's shown that when we're tested, we produce a product that's rarely seen. Unfortunately, Trump, he had big feet or something. He had his toes. He got out, bone spares. So we haven't seen that with him. But we have seen Trump attack the media. We have seen that. He said that's the fakest smile in history. And Trump has nobody to blame but himself. The reason people question his commitment is because he's really shown no commitment to equality. If anything, he's anti-equality. So that's Trump's fault. I don't question him. I give him the benefit of the doubt and say, hey, President Trump, you did good today. Let's keep it up. Why stop? But they're in the chat box. They question him. They think that he's just going through the motions. They don't want to believe that he's capable of doing good things. Today, you and Lindsey Graham, you did good. But they're in the chat, many in the chat who they don't agree. Many. He had to sign. A lot of blacks at that time didn't have a whole lot of options. He went into the Marine Corps. He wanted to serve his country, and he did. And he did it doing Jim Crow. He did it doing black and white. I don't even know if the Oscars 19. He was born in what is this guy? This guy was born in 1937 in Bishopville, South Carolina. One of 4 children raised by his parents who were sharecroppers. Now that's slavery right there, brother. You talking about 10 cents? We talking about 15 cents. We talking about this guy was raised by sharecroppers. His father was forced to work on a chain gang. Turns out he was wrongfully convicted. After which his mother fled to Baltimore. He met his wife before he joined the Marines. That is troubling. And he still harbored no resistance. He still believed in America. And James, you deserve it, brother. He still believed in America. He still mentor Marines. Said his niece was a big time fighter to help him get his Medal of Honor. That is respect. When nobody will hear your story but your family, and nobody wants to hear you and shut up and get up and we don't care. A young lady picked up the torch and she knew it was wrong and she fought. And she contacted the right people and she stayed on it. And she knew her uncle deserved a Medal of Honor. She knew it and he got it. Hats off to this guy, man. Major James Capers, Marine Corps, retired. Yep. Lived through Strom Thurmond, lived through all of that. He watched that. He saw the civil rights marches. Um, he saw all of that. He saw what a lot of us saw, but he stayed on his grind and he didn't let that stuff eat him up, man. He was a victim of racism and he knew he deserved a higher award, but he accepted and he went to his church and he fellowshipped and he helped young Marines. He didn't teach them to hate. He taught them to love their country and believe in their country. And he dedicated his life. His life is a dedication to service. This is an honorable man. When you talk about a Pete Hegseth, you're talking about a fucking Fox News host. You're talking about a guy who's on Fox fucking News, the Muppets on Ice. Fox is nothing but the Muppets on Ice. A bunch of people in puppet suits and ice skates entertaining the crowd. And Pete Hegseth, you got Mr. Capper right here. Major Capper, retired general, Medal of Honor winner. This is what you look up to. This is the man you respect. You don't respect a fucking Fox News monkey. A Fox News monkey. You don't respect a guy like that. And see, the white supremacists don't want to deal with the truth. They want to shove Pete Hegseth into your face. and try to tell you he's competent. He's not. He's not. This black man who came from Jim Crow and sharecroppers, this black man right here, this black man, this is who you honor. This is who you respect. The white supremacists, they took a lick today. The white supremacists, you took a lick today. You can stick that meth, needle in your veins and talk about Negro, but today, you see how inferior you are. You can chew on that crack pipe. Today, you see your inferiority. Food stamps. They had to feed West Virginians. They had to feed them food stamps. They were starving out there. The white supremacists made food stamps a black issue. It is not. It's not a black issue. Methamphetamines or methylene or whatever. What's that? Meth. Fentanyl and methylene. Methylene into the neck bone of the MAGA supporter. That's it. Methylene into the neck bone of the MAGA supporter. The fat boys. Watch out for the fat boys. A bunch of racist MAGA supporters. They hate immigrants. They hate blacks. They refer themselves as the fat boys because they're addicted to fentanyl. They're addicted to foods. They exist off food stamps and fentanyl sticks. Like the stream, man. We got the join link posted, man. We'll take your comments. It's late. We moving on to July 4th. Hope you guys are getting ready. Go out there and love your country and show your support. Obama's Iranian deal was better. Trump just caused more problems. Trump tried to prove that he's some kind of way a better negotiator, and he failed. If Iran's got to be rolling over, man, jumping up and down, they're winning so much. They're winning. And now they're going to charge tolls in the Strait of Hormuz. That's more money. That's more money coming to them. They're going to make more money because of Trump. Because of Trump, they're going to make a lot more money. Thanks to Trump. The Strait was open before the war. It was open before the war. It was open before the war. What did we get out of a war? Oh, now we got the Strait open. Oh, yeah, we also got to give up $300 billion. $300 $300 billion to Iran. They're going to fund Hezbollah, more terrorism. That's the stupidest. But the fat boys, the fetty boys, the MAGA, the food stampers, and the feta addicts, they don't care. They don't like blacks, and they don't like the immigrants. They're going to take it out. And this is where we are, man. Like, share, support, man. We got the join link posted, man. Methylene. MAGA's going to take a shot of methylene into the vein. And they're going to be upset at Trump hugging on this black guy. They're going to be upset at Trump for a minute. What's up with you, Tabor?
Man, just came in enjoying the stream. Kind of catch you on the last one. I like what you're talking about, bro. Like this here with Trump. You know, not trying to make it about Trump, but it's needed overall. I said it in your comments, man. He need a street. You know, cats like him. The admirals you spoke about before, the captains, that high-rank military cats that gave their lives overseas that we know about, those the cats that we should be having for streets. You know, things we can learn about. We ain't gonna know the truth about everything, but we know it ain't a certain way that make us look bad. It just make us look good as a black man. I'm proud. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We don't see it every day.
Are you proud of Major Caper?
I think you spoke about him before. Is that the one that got?
He's 88. I don't know. He had to be retired.
But he's a major though in the military.
Yes, sir. He's retired, so that technically he's not in anymore.
I was in representing the country. That for the most part, people said don't support him, but for somehow or some way he won overall.
The white supremacists in the chat box, they don't support him.
They gotta be like that, man. They gotta have something to hate on. Ain't got nothing else going on. That's what you gotta do. You gotta find something. You gotta find something to complain about, because you can't do nothing about your circumstances in real time.
If you're a methylene addict, you probably are gonna hate black people because you hooked on the methylene.
Yeah, and there's some people that I ain't gonna say got it out the mud, but there's some people that got less than you, but got more than you, if that makes sense. It's all over the country, man, especially towards the northwest or northeast, maybe. Nah. It's like Seattle area, Idaho, South Dakota, man. You see all that, you know, if you own those type of, you know, prescription type drugs, like there's help for you. Like, it's bad too, man. It's bad for them. More power to them. You know, if you can get you a whatever them places they go to, wellness centers, but rehabs. There you go. Rehabs. Man, I heard you say Trump gave somebody $200 million. Somebody got a $300 million.
300. I think 300 billion to Iran.
And they charge them tolls on that left pathway.
Oh man, what you talking about? They already talked about. They estimate them to make a day with the amount of ships coming through. They're gonna make like 25 million a day.
Welcome to capitalism.
Off of something they weren't making a nickel before, but because of Trump, that's more money coming in.
Of course, take care of your people. Y'all ain't gotta be out here running. Go ahead, I'm listening.
And Iran is one of the most intelligent countries on the planet. All of them. The way their school systems are set up, they're real. You know, they don't do no drugs because they're Muslim. They are against things like that, right? I'm talking. They start out the gate anti-drugs, anti-alcohol, and very, very focused on mathematics. So their whole country is filled with geniuses. Now they got more money coming in. When you look at America, unfortunately, for freedom, you know, you got a lot of the meth boy. You got a group of white guys on Reddit, fentanyl boys, a bunch of Trump supporters, walking around with baseball bats and fentanyl needles jammed in their veins, talking about they love America. See, that's why you ain't gonna make it. That's what I'm saying. You look at Iran, they don't even tolerate that. Look at us. What you say, the fanes, the fentanyl boys, fetties.
I can see when it comes to the 300 billion, that's really like, if you say if there's intelligence, if they're as intelligent as you say, that money is gonna help them with some infrastructure. They ain't gotta really be in a struggle mindset. The survival mode is gone. They getting money on the daily. Man, that's just a smart move for the whole country. That's a smart move, man. I can see how people would be mad, but you know that's what America do. No matter what, we go infringe on your rights, but save you at the same time. And everybody don't see it up front, but on the back end, man, that's good for their people, bro. And maybe they'll stop all the aggravation over there. Because when you get money in your pocket, you start moving different. You know, you don't really be as frustrated. Most of your problems go away. For some, though.
Do you think Trump became a president today?
I mean, he been president. I mean, he just
when he pinned the Medal of Honor on this 88-year-old retired Marine general. Do you think America came together for a moment?
I think black people looked at him different for a moment. And then they had to go back to what they thought their reality is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and this is what I mean. Like, the way he can move is like he came in with money so he can move different. He can do things like this. You know, I'm pretty sure before all the other presidents, they could have done things like this too. I mean, it's far and few between, but he's doing it. You know, it's something to look up to. It's June. It's Juneteenth. Or coming up. You feel what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Let me ask you this, boy. Do you look at this thumbnail and think he's only doing it as a photo op?
Nope.
Okay.
Now, what I heard about Jesse.
You believe? No. I'm saying, so you believe that this is genuine?
Yeah, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, bro. I saved the video just in case if you ever like. You know what? Your email wasn't in your, what do you call that? I've never seen your email. Maybe I'm looking at it wrong. But,
it's in there. It's in there.
Well, I gotta
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
But nonetheless, I've seen the video where Trump was talking about that. Where I spoke to you about the other day about getting him a place in his building, and he was like, and he got it for free. He the best negotiator I know. Like this back in the 80s, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Like late 90s, whatever. But nonetheless, he's saying this about a friend where he can charge this man, but he giving it to him based on what he got going on. Like he been doing stuff like that. You know, and unless somebody come into your life when somebody did you right and they showing you they do you right, but you do them wrong based on other people's opinion, that's crazy, bro. It shouldn't be like that, but it is. I'm glad he doing it, man. I hope he finds some more cats to do like that. Give him a reason. Just to rub it in y'all face, man. That's a man first. You know what I'm saying? He the president, and he doing things like this, bro. I'm proud of him. I ain't gonna hold you. Proud of him. You know, boys get back to hating on tomorrow. But today, I'm proud of him. My thoughts, bro. He been a president.
Oh, no. Today he did good. I would hope he continues to be this type of president. I would hope.
Yeah.
You know, I know I'm hoping, but I would hope that President Trump would start to be a good president. And you know, like you said, you don't agree with that. You don't agree with that.
About to being a good president?
Yeah. Look at this brother right here. I ain't seen this brother in a minute. Look at this. He says Trump got that Caucasian fake smile. Looks crazy. No, you know, and I just wonder, I wonder, Father, I really do. I wonder, Father, why are we so skeptical about Trump? You know, like I think now, look, I think he's a racist. Now, I think he suspended his racism today. Now, he's got to give me a reason to believe other than that. I mean, today, it's a certainly a step in the right direction, and I want to be somebody to tell me I'm wrong about him, right? But look at what this brother had to go through to get a Medal of Honor, man. This man, 88 years long. So you tell me, if I am valiant in the 60s, if I do something in 1967, 68, I gotta wait till 2026. I gotta live just to see my wife dies before I get the award I deserve. My kid dies before I get the award I deserve. Man, we ask black people to do a lot. Woo! Woo! We ask black people to do the most.
And he stood on American business. Black man first, because that's we see it, but he stood on American business, man. And I seen somebody, it was like, or was that you, talk about him running, and he could have stayed away. No, somebody said it in the comments about him staying over there, but we really don't do that. As bad as it be for America, man, we stand on business, bro, and we try to figure it out. And as far as Trump with the racism or doing this right here, it's one of them things like, he gotta act in a racist America. You gotta actively be anti-racist. You know what I'm saying? You gotta actively continue to prove that you ain't a racist. You know, despite things like this. You know, I know when he do go, that funeral gonna be nice, bro. It's gonna be nice because of that badge. Because my dad had a funeral because he was Air Force. They came, shot some guns, you know, dressed out. But you know, when you get certain medals, I know it'd be better.
We hope he lives another 40, 50 years. You know, good brother, right here.
Greatness.
Good brother. And he only had one kid. Now I will have to say, ain't none of my business. And he had his kid before I was born. But I wish he would have had more kids. His niece was a big advocate for him, and you know, she made sure that her uncle got his proper respect. But I wish he would have had about 4 or 5 kids, man. Yeah. But you got to understand, he got married when he went into the military. And in that world, you don't just have kids to have them. They're big deal. They're a big deal.
Yeah, well, at least he got somebody in his family that listened to what, you know, heard the stories and was just like, you know, my uncle deserved. You know what I'm saying? That's why you just can't shun the generations after you, because they can really listen. Some of them go listen and be able to move accordingly. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be something you'll be proud of, because not all our kids going to be great or do some great things, but they can contribute overall to the mission, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you know, and what's really bad, Tabor, what's terrible, Tabor, is this is America. When you look at that picture, that's the country that we built. You know, greatness, excellence. We reward these things. These are people, you know, many of us, we could never be a James Capper. Let me see his name. I think it's James. Let me see. James Capers. My fault. We could never be a James Capers. But, you know, we are obsessed with the NBA young boys and the DMX. And does Sexy Red have on draws? And no, these are places that's supposed to be rewarding and respecting people, but we don't want to do that. And that's where we've dropped the ball. Big time.
And folks got to keep in mind, man, this things like this, the president really probably don't know a person like him unless it's brought to his attention, because his cabinet would know some things, but they uncle didn't get nothing, so they'll, you know, hate on this uncle. But sure enough, the next step, like what you saying, bro, that's why you need them youngsters, bro. They got them, they be on go.
Well, you could, Tabor, you could listen to your uncle as a 4 or 5 year old at at the family gatherings. Over time, you know your uncle was a hero. You said, man, my uncle showed me his silver star. He told me 1,000 times what happened. And he was like, man, I know my uncle deserves better than a silver star. Because I've seen these other people. And your uncle could be not, he doesn't move, he going to church, he a deacon, and he don't, you know what I'm saying? He go home, he ain't thinking about that stuff. But you could be like, fuck this.
Yeah.
And you could be all up in those politicians' face, and you could be contacting survivors and getting statements. And you could be saying, my uncle deserves a Medal of Honor. I think he was denied because of his race.
Yeah.
And those politicians could take another look at that. The good ones, the good politicians can look and say, okay, wait a minute. Okay, we got a statement from people who was in his unit. He received the battlefield commission. This person, let's contact him. And they could say, oh, yes, this is injustice right here. We got to get you a Medal of Honor. You could tell your uncle, and he could be in his 75. I told you I was a little kid. I was only 13, but I told you I was going to make sure you got the justice you deserve. I told you that. And you didn't believe me. You told me, don't worry about it. But you see, and that's our country. That's America.
Yeah.
That's what we are as a country. We do what's right. When you talk about the Fat Boys and the fentanyl crew, a bunch of racist MAGA supporters who stick fat needles in their veins and walk around with baseball bats and harass black people and immigrants. That's not the best we have, man. That is not what's best in us. Methylene boy, methylene. Give me a bag of methylene. We're better than that. We can do better. And maybe today Trump has changed. Maybe this will move Trump into being a different type of president.
Yeah, man. I'm sure. Well, I can't say I'm sure, but I would say that for the girl, for his niece that did it, she gonna always be looked at a certain way within the family. You know what I'm saying? And she probably just a regular person. Probably ain't the smartest, the most accomplished, but she got on them websites and used email and reached out to the local people and like you said, possibly got at people in his division.
Yeah, that's basically she came statements, witnesses, and all of that stuff, and they had to look at it for what really happened and say, is this only worth a battlefield commission and a silver star? And they say, yeah, we got to recognize this. This is Medal of Honor right here. And he's still alive. He's 88. This is what we're about. We do screw black people over, but we do, some of us, sometimes we do the right thing. And look, shout out, like we said, and I'm gonna probably we can do this right now. I'm gonna say when I end the stream. You know what we finna do? We finna have a moment of silence for all the blacks. But we want to do it because of racism and discrimination. Let's have a moment of silence for all the blacks who are not as strong as Major Capers. They weren't as strong, but they performed valiantly on the battlefield. They never got their just due. They still love their country. And unfortunately, they're passed away. And at this moment, let's have a moment of silence for the blacks who suffered under Jim Crow and being sharecroppers and robbed of their rights to be men. Let's put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you got love for the blacks who got denied their fair justice. And they were never given the awards, despite how many people they saved. They answered the call of duty, doing battle. And unfortunately, maybe they got addiction, age. Here we go. Let's begin. Okay. Yeah, we paid our respects, man, because you do have to remember for every James Capper, there's probably 15, 20 Black Americans who went up above the call of duty, and not just in the military, but all over. And let me say this right here. I'm talking about that, but there are many, many white people who resisted the racist call, the call for racial solidarity and hatred and racism. They resisted that. And you know what, I'm very interested. I am going to look up how he got his battlefield commission, because whites had to be involved in that. And I know they were harassed by their seniors, and they were ostracized because they don't want white people giving Black people any proper credit. I got to look up. I'm very suspicious about that. Now, he's still alive. There's no way I could communicate with him. Maybe, I don't know, he might travel or so. I got to talk to him about it. I want to say, how'd you get your commission? Because I'm sure white people, they knew they had to do the right thing by you, and they helped you get it, despite the fact their command trying to punish them and lie on them and harm them.
Yeah, man, that'll be a what do you call that, a situation, because they had to be, and I'm sure it didn't happen last week. It probably took a couple years before it actually got to the right person's desk. Cause you know a person acting like the email never came through, so you got to send it a few times, and then you've been sending it to the wrong person. Yeah, man, Denise looked at.
Mm-hmm. Hats off
Was it?
to boy. Hats off. We may not have our shit together, but maybe we got offspring who they willing to help us when we can't help ourselves, and we want to turn our back. And we got people out there that say, well, we don't have to do that. I trust in this country. I trust in America. And it's because of her face that this man is on stage with the president and getting his rightful due, even though it's 50 years too late. He still got it. Now, I'm not cool with that. Let me say this, because people like say, well, what you talking about? He still got fair treatment. Yeah, 50 years later. And then look at who he's got to get it from, this Trump guy.
Yeah. And his family probably was talking trash to him before it even happened about Trump, just to be in the White House or be around in their presence to get it from him. Man, proud moment for the bloodline, man. It's going down in their history, not everybody else's, but in their history, that's gonna be a proud moment, because everybody won't be able to see that from either the people that's passed in his family or the ones that's coming later. They can talk about their uncle, and that's a flex, man. That's a flex.
Why, Tabor, why does someone addicted to drugs, right? Crack addiction, fat addiction, methylene addiction. Why do those people enjoy talking about Black people instead of going to get some rehab?
Because they want to remind themselves that this country is for them and not people that don't look like them. They want to look at somebody else as a loser, and America prop them up the way they do, even though you losing when you look in the mirror, like you just losing. Ain't nothing you can really say to a person that actually take care of their family, ain't never touched no drugs like that.
Mm-hmm.
You can't say nothing to nobody like that. Actively get up and working the 12 hours, in their kids' life, doing whatever it takes, go work himself to the bone for you. Yeah, man, they got a lot of kids online talking about how it was for them back in the day, and their parents, white kids, and their parents moved a certain way, and they couldn't have, and they grew up in foster care, this, that, and the third, and you think everybody doing good, but in reality, it don't be like that, man. Some of us gotta actively keep going, man. Just because it's been so much bad, and you gotta say to yourself, man, I'm never going back. And the only way you can do that is to just keep going forward, no matter what, even when something gets in your way.
He stuck the methylene needle in his neck bone. And now he's in the hospital foaming at the mouth. We're better than that, man. Come on, man. We're better than that. Get off the methylene. Save your family, save your kids, save yourself. Trying to justify the methylene addiction because you hate Negroes, that's not going to help you out, man. Putting on a MAGA hat and buying a baseball bat and talk about you want to make America great again and racially harassing blacks. Look at Chud the Builder. Look at Chud the Builder. Look at these people, man. They're so dedicated with anger against us. Like, bro, you better get your credit straight. Negroes, you better worry about getting your credit together, bro. Bruh, you ain't got no house. You ain't got no car. Bro, you losing, bro. You better than that. Why you keep worrying about Negro? Who cares what Negroes do? You got a methylene addiction. But see, the meth boys and all of these meth people, this MAGA meth crowd, they don't care about a methylene addiction. They have one too. And then as they get hooked, they bask in hating blacks. And how we going to take this country back? What you going to do? So you're going to take it back so you can smoke meth? You doing it already. You cooked up off meth right now.
Man, I think I mentioned him before, which I probably have. The dude that the reason why I was able to get my CDL was because of a white dude, and his name was Pete. Pete was on drugs bad, lost everything. His family lost touch with his kids. Like I watched him cry a few times about it. Like he messed up. You know what I'm saying? He had some bad things go left. And, you know, so that's why I can't look at everybody like that ain't good, you know, based on their race. Like you don't know what people been through. So some people were raised in a racist household and you can't stop that. And they'll try to be good, but you know, if you want to see the bad, then you go see the bad. But people get hooked on drugs, man. It be bad out here, even in 2026 with help. And they got way more help now than they ever had for free. And people just don't want to get it together. So they get on the internet, they complain, they look goofy, you know, talking about things that don't even matter. Like how does you hating on another race help you personally? Is it making your life better? You know, can your kids eat off of it? You gotta side eye dudes like that, man. Dudes and women, just humans like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you start talking about America. Man, they got some great things, man. You can change your life tonight. Tomorrow, Friday, you go get you some information. Monday morning, you wake up, hit the ground running. You know what to do. You may hit some walls. Doors go get closed. But man, if the right person hear you, they'll sit you down and be like, I think I know where you're trying to go. I didn't have it happen to me. And it wasn't people that look like me, bro.
What a bump of methylene go for in New Orleans? A little bit.
Probably $40, man. It's expensive. They gonna sell their stamps.
You get the whole thing.
The housing.
They just give you the cook. I mean, they give you the powder. Or they give you the whole thing.
They give you a version of it.
They give you They give it to you in the powder, or it be in the liquid.
I seen it look like little kid candy, like Pop Rocks.
I'm
just saying, I ain't been outside that.
Do you eat it?
Nah, man, they crush it up. It look like crystals.
The methylene.
It looked like something you can buy a science kit and grow in 3 to 4 days, and it can be all different colors. That's what it looked like. It looked like candy. I know. Go ahead.
The MAGA people, I know you. Well, I don't know who you like. You said stop assuming that. Okay, I don't know who you like, but the MAGA people got a methylene addiction. and then they get hooked, they get cooked up off of methylene pipe, and then they start talking about they don't like black people. We're better than no, hold on. We're better than that, man. We're just better than that. I don't know what happened to us. I don't know what we've been through, but we're better than that. How about you put the methylene down and join us as all Americans, man, and let's be one and let's do better.
Like Chris Rock said in that movie, what man, I forgot the movie he was in, where he played Pookie, and he was like, man, it just keep calling. Keep calling me. It be calling them, bro. I'm telling you, I didn't see it. Seattle, Washington State, man. Late nights, we at the truck stop, you see people. Arizona, they can't take no showers. They got their dog with their girl. They look stressed out, bro. It's all around the country, man. You see it. You see it, man. It be choices, man.
And you're not the only one, Tabor. I'm with you. Now, I'm saying it different. I think Trump suspended his racism. And I hope he continues to do that. No, I hope he continues to do that. But do I think the photo is fake and he's doing it because he fears the midterms? I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say that he suspended his racism, though, and he finally was a president today. So both of us, we don't doubt that this photo was not genuine. A lot of some of the liberals or whatever in the chat, they think they're pretty much, they don't agree. They don't think this is a real photo. They think he's faking it.
I believe, man, there's some people that know Trump, that's black. Watch what he did in real time, in those times. We're talking 20, 30 years ago, before he was even president. They seen him do some things, but they can't come out and say nothing. Based on they're in the industry of politics or in those circles. They can't say nothing. White people seen it too. People seen it. That's why it's slow. It comes out slow. You know, the lies, it's always more entertaining than the truth. And people go run with that because they want to be right. So if somebody came up and told you something that you all the way wrong about, you just ain't gonna believe it because you want to be right. And it'd be like, bro, nah, it happened differently. He was treated a certain way. Trump got to be the only. Go ahead, my bad.
No. Hey, look, if you a MAGA, preferably if you're a fat boy, if you're a fatty boy, if you're part of the MAGA fat boys, fentanyl, y'all smoke fentanyl, y'all wear MAGA clothes, and y'all chase immigrants and blacks with baseball bats. Y'all on Reddit, the fat boys, the fatties. I know I'm asking too much to get one of you guys to call in, but yeah, if you're a MAGA supporter, man, call in, man. Tell me what you think about what Trump did. I know he sort of betrayed a lot of you. Look, if you're a racist, he betrayed you today. Now, let me know if you think what you think. No, I'm not saying all of them. I'm saying a lot of them they felt betrayed today. Like the stream, man. That stream, y'all, hit the link, man. Help me out. Help me learn. Help me learn. I don't know why there's so much fear, man. Why we have to be in this fear. We're all Americans, man. Let's learn. Help me, man. Help me.
This is one of those times, man, in history, right? That especially based on like all the variables of him being in the White House, them saying what they saying, like even though he did something today, man, I'm telling you, tomorrow they're gonna be back on his top, just disrespecting and violating. They're just not gonna care.
Who?
They're just not gonna.
Who? The Democrats?
Just people. Just anybody, man. Oh. Anybody that hate on him.
Okay, so wait a minute. So if you criticize Donald Trump, you're hating on him?
Yeah.
Well, what, you don't think there's room for criticism?
Oh, of course there is.
Well, then
But
how
then
are they hating on him?
because it's overall hate. Like it's not an overall 50-50. It's just hate. 95% of the time we get online, we hear how Trump did this, how Trump did that. And we
Okay.
know he do some good things, but they don't highlight the good. Like for most of us black
You
people.
talking about like that thumbnail?
Like them highlighting that today?
Yeah. You saying they don't highlight the good? Aren't that? Isn't that what we're talking about?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about today.
So who
But
doesn't?
overall,
Okay.
go ahead, my bad.
You're not talking about over here, right?
Nah. I'm just talking about people and like the general overall conversation about him. He this, he that, and we do something like this. Oh, it's a photo op. Oh, he doing it because of his midterms. I don't believe that, bro. It ain't a lot of us here, bro. Let's be clear. If we talking 13% of Americans, right? Out of 100 people, we're only 13 people. 14
That's
people.
it. Okay.
Because we 14% of America as black Americans. So that's not a lot, bro. So we low-key lost in the crowd. And this is what I was telling you the other day. When it's that opportunity, when we get that opportunity, we stick out. Because it ain't that many of us that make us look good. There's more of us that make us look bad than look good on the daily, bro. They want to see the dude out here doing ratchet stuff, opposed to putting up the dude that's changing the game, that then filed for a couple patents, that sold a couple companies, that got a head on his shoulders. If he start talking intellectually, you can't even play with this cat as a black man, bro. But when we get that opportunity, bro, man, I'm telling you, you ain't got no choice but to see us walk in the room. That day was a proud moment, not just for his family, but for black people, bro. That's who gets streets, bro. That's who get the schools. That's who should be the speakers. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with a rapper coming to speak about his past, but most likely he actively doing some foolish stuff. These the people that they don't big up, bro. They just don't, bro. They ain't listening to his motivational speeches. They ain't listening to his interviews. Those are not the people that blow up online. We waiting for the cats to be walking around with purses to talk about them. That's who we worried about as black men. Well, not me, but I'm just saying, like overall, the internet. They want to be entertained. This is not an entertaining moment. My thoughts on it, big dog. That's my thoughts.
No, I'm listening, man. I'm completely listening, man. Finally, Trump today, for a lot of people, he decided to be a president, man, and that's what we want. You know, we want him to be a president. He and Lindsey Graham went above, expectations, and they gave this brother, he's 88, his proper respects. We gotta laud that. But he is gonna piss off a lot of his base, right? The Fat Boys, a group of racist MAGA supporters who are addicted to fentanyl, and they harass blacks. The Fat Boys. And hats off to you, Trump. You knew you would hurt some people, but you knew the right thing to do. Right thing to do was to give this brother his award. I'm glad you and Lindsay did it. Go ahead.
I hope next Black History Month or once before he get out of office that he just have a slew of cats just getting they just do in the month of February and just piss off America, bro. If it's gonna be like this on one day, if he just take a few days, then because his base ain't gonna matter no more. I don't think he can be president anymore. But if he can pull it off, I hope he pull it off.
Me too. Trump did a good thing. He gave the Medal of Honor to 3 recipients, these are rare people. One of them happens to be General Caper. General Caper saved his whole unit. He risked his life. He was under fire. He had shrapnel in his legs from mines, despite he still fought to get them to the extraction point. After that, growing up in Jim Crow and racism, after that, he wound up leaving the military, even though he still mentors troops. He harbors no resentment. And we see now with Trump in office, he got what he was earned, a Medal of Honor. And it's about time, bro. It's long overdue.
Yeah, and the ones that be out here complaining, I don't care what your race is, but you out here complaining, those be the ones that really don't contribute, really don't care about the country, man, on the daily. Overall, they just complaining. And you can change your circumstance. He's showing you, despite what you done been through, it may take some time, and you may not even get it, but it could come.
Mm-hmm. Well, we need more of this, man. I feel proud for both of them. I feel proud for President Trump. I feel proud for this retired general. And I also feel ashamed that BET and all of these companies that say they work for BET, they want to help BET, they don't want to bring like guys like this to the forefront. They're more concerned with NBA YoungBoy, what's going on between Rick Ross and some foolishness. They're more concerned with that than honoring the right thing.
What's gonna do numbers? What's gonna bring in money? What people gonna talk about after the fact online? That's what they worried about. They not about to talk about him for 2-3 weeks. They not about to start pulling up cats that's been great. They worried about who you just said.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's gonna be a time, man, where you gonna need like his niece, somebody like that in your family. And y'all, some of y'all probably got some people like that in your family already. That's young, they ambitious. Y'all really ain't looking at them like they ain't gonna be nothing because you don't like their mama or they cousins or they daddy. And it's like that. What they got to do with you? I mean, what that got to do with them?
Yeah.
And you ain't gonna give them the opportunity.
Let me show you a coward. Let me show you a coward. This is what's wrong with the black community. This is a coward. Now, when you look at this guy, Nathan Smith. This is a coward. I'm ashamed of people like you pushing such obvious lies. Who's lying? And fake racism. According to who? You're a coward. There's the join link. You're a coward. You ain't gonna come up here. You're a white supremacist and a coward. You're gonna hide in the chat box. You're gonna hide in the chat box. When you look at these people, right? They say they like Trump. Trump don't push being a coward.
Not at all.
How you gonna like Trump and you a coward? That ain't what he about. They so scared they won't even come up and join the link. And let me tell you something. When I was about well, I'm not gonna say it. Anyhow, when I was young, how about that? I was hanging out with my little friend, and his mom was real street, right? And he got beat up by some boys, right? And he was telling his mom, I came over to play, so he was telling his mom I was hearing him, and her reaction was a little bit different than the normal reaction that I had seen with other moms, right? That happened before. So it was some guys picking on him, and she told him, say, hey, listen, hey, but you and your sister, and you got to protect your sister. And she said, you can't let nobody beat your ass. He said, I know, Mom, but it was like 3 of them. She said, listen to me, boy. You cannot let nobody beat your ass. And he said, and you got to protect your sister. He said, well, Mama, it was 3 of them. She said, boy, you such a bitch and a coward. You won't slap the nuts from your nuts. And I said, damn. No, I didn't say nothing. I just, wow. She said, don't you ever come to me talking about somebody, you afraid of somebody. Get your ass away from me. And you know what? I'm telling you, I knew him. He was one of my friends. I had a bunch of friends. Let me tell you something. At the bus stop, He got a Medal of Honor. That motherfucker cleaned house. He cleaned house. He went in, they weren't expecting that. They came up with that bully shit. He started knocking out teeth, knocking motherfuckers out, snatching necks, hats. Jordan was in there. He whooped about 4 motherfuckers' ass and was in school on time. And all of that, we're going to get you. They was waiting on that. He was like, come on, let's go again. Yeah, she bought something out of him I ain't never seen. I said, damn. Damn. And that's what you got in the chat box. You got a lot of cowards, man. They hide in the chat box. They hide in the chat box. When you say, will you please come up here and explain yourself? They fear that. They don't want to do that. And that's why I have to block so many of them, because they hide in the chat box. Yeah, man, she wasn't playing, bro. And she bought that spirit out of him, bro. He wasn't a coward, but he was afraid to lose a fight, and it was outnumbered. Not after that. Let me tell you something. After that day, nobody fucked with him.
As they should. As they
bro,
should.
He was a tall dude. He was a little lanky. So he could get them punches in before you can get one of you. He got mad, bro. His mama told him, and his sister was actually, well, nothing. I don't need to get anyhow. He handled business. He protected his sister, and I'm gonna tell you something. Nobody fucked with him. After the word got out, he put boot to ass. They left him alone. They would have picked on other people. They ain't fuck with him.
Were they in elementary?
We was. Look, man, I don't want to. His mama's dead now. People would have issues with the age, the way she talked, but the message was received.
Yeah.
He was a cool dude, man. But no, I'm gonna tell you something. He was a cool dude, but I wouldn't fight him. No, man, that dude got reach, but that dude was tall. You gonna have to eat some punches.
Duck a few, and if you can't, you out of there.
Yeah, you gonna have to, I was like that. We never had no problems, but his mom she was just a cut from a different cloth. She didn't play that. She didn't want to hear that shit. Tell myself, it's for them. So, boy, don't you ever come in here talking about somebody you afraid and all that. You better get your ass out there. You gotta take care of yourself and your sister. But mom is for you better shut the. And as she made that comment about you won't knock the gnats from your nuts, it brought out whatever was in him that when it came out. And that is a coward though when you really think about that guy who won't do that.
Yeah,
but
man,
that's growing up in the hood, man. Growing up in the hood, you get stories, I'm gonna start a channel, Growing Up in the Hood, which is actually one of my favorite songs, MC8.
Never heard that song.
That's Boys in the Hood.
The movie?
Put him on the map. Man, that song, the junk, bro, you heard that. Growing Up in the Hood?
I don't think so, bro.
Yeah.
Listen, Platt, when I got in trouble in school back in the day, they used to play Sunny 99.1 in Houston, bro. Like I would be.
Y'all listen to MC, Master P, and Cash Money.
So what's wrong with that?
No, he wouldn't know no MC8. He wouldn't know no LA West Coast stuff because he was listening to
country music.
Yeah.
Alternative music.
He was listening to the Thugs, the Southern Thugs.
Oh man,
That's
hey, listen,
crazy.
my childhood wasn't like that. I had to go around my cousins to hear that in Louisiana, bro. I didn't hear that in Houston because I'm telling you, I wasn't raised like that, bro. I wasn't raised in the hood like that.
I don't know about now, but back there, Compton's most shit. Where you out your? The whole club they play that because I was in California for about 3 years, man. They used to play that, bruh. And I'm a Southern nigga. Hold up. I'm a Southern dude. I'm not a West Coast dude, but I was in the West Coast. And we was in the club, man. They used to put that. They said, "Wake your punk ass, bro." Them niggas went crazy in there. Whatever Singleton did that moment, I'm not talking about now. I'm not saying we could recreate it, but at that time, he played that, bro. That club, them West Coast niggas lost their minds.
It was up.
They ran to the dance floor, bro. Everybody got on the dance floor. Growing up in the hood, bro.
That good music is good music, though. That's how you spell it. His name in the chat, MC8EIHT.
Yeah, I can't believe you don't know who that is. You
Nah.
seen Boys in the Hood, right?
Yeah, I see the movie.
Yeah, he's on the soundtrack.
What part of which one was it? Is there
growing up in the hood.
Is there a scene that's tied to that song?
I don't know.
It's like one of the songs playing at the end of the credits, some random shit.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But
I'm sorry. Hold on. He's saying it's menace to society. You see what I'm saying? I'm so far behind. Thank you. He said American Negro says no, that's menace to society.
See, Platt though. See, Platt up there tapping his ass off.
I'm not capping. No, I know who. Well, you know what? I actually bought the CD, so I didn't buy the soundtrack. But he's right. Menace to society. I know that nobody was doing what he was doing when he came out. Now, he wasn't as good as Pac and all them dudes, but shit, bro. Look, shout out to MC8. That shit he did then, bro. I don't know where that came from. Nobody was doing what he was doing. And whoever laid that beat, I don't know who it was, bro. There wasn't nobody banging like that. And that drove off. That's one of them songs. I think that song got banned. Sometimes a song make people go so crazy, you can't play it. Fight start. Yeah. And a lot of people from the ghetto and the hood, they had never been honored like that. And that was a hood song. I'm not saying West Coast. I'm not saying West Coast hood. I'm just saying from the hood. Growing up in the hood. That's what the song is about. You got to listen to it. Wonderful song.
I'm good. I probably couldn't relate, man. I'm sure, as you get older, it seems more relatable, to you because now your mind has expanded beyond your own surrounding. But yeah, back in that time, like I would have been like, who? Like, man, if you're not talking about some screw music or, regionally somebody around Louisiana or something like that, yeah, nah. We ain't getting a lot of play in Houston.
Screw. Oh, yeah, right. I got you.
DJ Screw. It's a big day coming up for Houston, man. June 27th.
Yeah, June 27th, baby.
June 27th, man. That's a big day in Houston, man.
That's Screw birthday party?
Yeah.
Birthday celebration, I mean.
It's a celebration for DJ Screw. And it's synonymous with a song that came out.
But see, my thing with the Screw is the drug of conflation. I don't like the lean and all that. And I don't like, because I see what it does to our people. So I don't like anything that's pro-drugs.
Yeah, that it is definitely, it was definitely that for sure.
But everybody didn't get on the drugs now, Platt, because I may have done it 1 or 2 times, but it ain't.
The chat say you lying to boy. They say
man.
They say you be cooking some dope, bro.
Nah, bro, I got
from listening. No, they say from listening to what you've been saying, they say you be cooking some dope. They don't believe that, to boy.
That ain't the case, man.
I had my days in the streets. That's done, bro, and I wasn't successful at it as far as I'm concerned. So it ain't nothing to be proud of. I can relate to a youngster trying to get it in, but nah, fam. Hey, and that song you talking about, it's on Apple Music, bro. The Best of MC8, number 6.
Well, it's also
Mm.
on Google, so and it's also on
Well,
YouTube. So instead of
I got,
buying it, I can actually just go to YouTube and download it for free.
I got it on. I got Apple Music, so you know
Oh,
what I'm
you
saying.
good then, man. But then after this stream, man, when you have a chance or whatever, you ride and just listen to it.
Man,
It's
every
old though. It's old, so it ain't gonna sound like modern stuff. But it's all right. I don't have no. I like it, but I don't listen to it like that. But it just
every song. Go ahead, my bad.
no. It left a impression during its moment. And we talking about before YouTube. Was print media, magazines and stuff, and they represented the West. John Singleton with Boys in the Hood, but also his soundtrack. Now, like he said, this was Menace, and I don't know who wrote Menace. I don't know who put that out, but that song, Growing Up in the Hood, made people understand gang culture in LA in a way that they normally couldn't. And nobody else, no matter how many gang songs they made, MC8, man, when he did that shit, he changed it. And he ain't even really that good of a rapper. So he managed to squeeze one good song out, or maybe two.
That's like the I
And
Got
then,
Five on his song. He ain't he ain't a good rapper, but he got that one
who?
song. Whoever sung I Got Five on it.
That's Loonies.
I ain't never heard anything else from him.
That ain't the same thing. It's different.
I'm just saying the one song thing. But
MCA
anyway,
wish he wrote I Got Five on it.
dang, I see it ain't the same.
Oh
Nah,
yeah,
man.
that's way bigger than Growing Up in the Hood, man. Loonies, they play that shit right now.
Yeah, right now, bro. And they got
Let's
a few
go
good
half on a
variations of
sack.
it.
Hell yeah.
That's
Yeah.
real talk. That's some real talk right there. The last song, man, most of the time, I can't even say most. Every song that you didn't brought up here, bro, I done went and dropped it on my in my library. Last one you said Summer Rain or something like that. I forgot who it was.
That's the
Them
Isley
old school
Brothers.
cat. Yeah, Isley Brothers. Yeah, I got that one. I went and picked that up. I done heard it a couple times. Sounded like something my dad would have played back in the day because he had a whole list of songs he used to get downloaded
Beautiful
on the
song.
CD.
But that's more of a when you say Growing Up in the Hood, that's more of a when you want to thug out, or you know what I mean? You and your
Pulling up on
boys.
folks.
But Summer Breeze, that's something either you with your kid, something like it's not like two different worlds, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I just remember Summer Breeze being played at our family reunions all the time. Like that
Beautiful
just be
song.
something that just be on in the background during during that time.
Harold Melvin, the Platinum Family Reunion. Give me some Harold Melvin. Give me some give me Miss
Boy,
You.
boy, it's showing the age right now.
How am I showing my age? What's wrong with Harold
Flat say
Melvin
he
and the
31.
What's
Yeah,
wrong with Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, bro?
I ain't never heard of that, man.
You ain't never heard. Hold on, dog. No, hold
I
on,
have
man.
heard of
You
it.
haven't heard of? Come on, Harold
You know
Melvin
who
and the
Teddy
Blue Notes.
Pendergrass is, the boy?
I know who that is.
You know who he is. You don't? Do you know his music?
I mean, my dad done played a few songs,
Uh, you don't
and
know
that's
who he is. So that's what I'm
oh
saying.
man, look how they hate on me.
He, you 40, you don't know who Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes are?
Nah, bro. My mom wasn't a music person. My dad, that's why I'm telling you the songs that you didn't mention plenty of times. I can go look them up, and it's gonna be reminding me of my dad. Angry Man used to do that. He'll play some songs. I'll be like, my dad used to play that, but I don't know the names.
Shit.
But I remember that music. I'll be like, man, that used to hit back in the day, especially on a Friday. He military, so we didn't get paid on the 1st, the 31st, the 30th. Oh man, he up all night waiting for that check to hit. It's about to be a time. I'll be at a time, man.
I can still recall waking up on a Saturday and hearing the music, and I could just tell what kind of weekend it's gonna be.
You know
Is
what
it
I'm
gonna be
saying?
a get your ass up and clean up right now type of weekend? Or is it gonna be, hey, pancakes ready downstairs? Come on, let's eat, let's have a good time, and then you can go clean up. So
Bruh.
just depending on the music. You either
we
gonna
got
get
a
your ass right
nightclub.
up and clean up, or you gonna come eat first and then clean
Uh-oh.
up.
No, you're right. Memories, right? And you need that. No.
Yeah.
JR, you need that. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Because when you don't have that, you don't have no footing.
Yeah.
Like a foundation to a house. You build a house with no foundation, it's gonna fall. It don't have nothing to hold it. When the wind and the storms come, it's the wind, first sign wind show, it's gonna get pushed like leaves.
Yeah.
And when you have memories, good memories, like you say, mom taking care of you, you remember that, and things maybe you may have disagreed as a kid, but now you see that they were actually good. You have a foundation now as a man. You're built for the bad times, and as a man, right, all that stuff is there, right?
Yeah. It definitely carries forward, man, because it still to this day, it'd be Saturday morning, I'll wake up and I'm coming downstairs and I know I'm always in the mood for pancakes. My daughter, she
Uh-oh.
really don't care for it. She more of a
But you
waffle.
like them spongy cakes, that IHOP stuff?
Hell no. I'm making mine. I'm making my pancakes from scratch. I'm not even a box guy. I mean, if I'm desperate and in a pinch, I'll box it. But nah, I'm sifting the flour.
Yeah.
I'm doing all of the things I need to do to make some homemade pancakes.
You know what,
I got the time to do it.
JR, and you know what, JR, I don't know, but if you know what you're doing, people will realize that spongy bullshit is not pancakes.
Yeah, I don't know what
Oh
it is.
man, I have to be hitting, man. I ain't gonna let you take that from me.
It's not, man.
Everybody ate in it.
You leave it in the car and it still has the integrity of the full round circle from when they made it. Nah, that's not good, man.
Oh, see, well,
And
I'm gonna make you.
No, I had real pancakes, Tabor. I had real pancakes, and I know what JR is saying. I haven't had none in a minute because you got to know what you're doing to make them.
Yep.
But when you make them homemades, they heavy and they taste, man. You can't even you can't describe how good they are. That's what I'm saying.
But yeah, that's typical me on Saturday. Me and my wife will get up and we'll, come downstairs, and it's always my daughter though. She always spoil the plans. Nah, I don't want no pancakes. Nah, I don't want this. I'm like, God, what the hell y'all kids eat these days? Nah, I just want this. Nah, man, you're gonna sit down and you're gonna enjoy a waffle or a pancake or something.
Okay. Uh-huh.
She'll sit there. She'll stall me out though, man. She'll sit there at the damn table. We eating. Me and my wife now just talking, and we look over at her plate, and she ate the fruit. Fruit is gone. Apple juice or grape juice or whatever kind of juice she got is gone. But the pancake, it'll be halfway eaten. I'm like, all right, man. I can't force you to eat everything. I don't want you to grow up 600-pound life type of thing. So. Yeah, I'm not into that. I remember my mom though. She make my ass sit at that table and eat you're not gonna waste my food. But me, I'm like, hey, if you say you full, you full. Like it is what it is. Get up. It's cool. I'm good.
Yeah, I ain't never seen that. Now, well, ain't nobody ever said they was full. Now, they might not have want to eat that shit because it was nasty.
Yeah.
Now, I remember my daddy bought his homie with him, and my daddy cooked, right? So we all got up. It was like 4:00 in the morning. They had got back from the club, and his partner, right? Anyhow, he had his partner with one of his partners, and we don't know, who he is, but we saw the way he looked and how he dressed, and he had long hair, shades. He was like a pimp player type dude, right?
Yeah.
So my daddy sat there and put the food out. My daddy rarely cooked. My mom was back asleep, and he got out, and because we was kids. Hell yeah! I'm like, hell damn, you damn right. I want something to eat, so I got my ass up. So we went up there and sat at the table with him, and we was listening to him. So he showed up. He raked the eggs on the plate. He gave everybody some eggs, and then he came out with the food. What he called he cooked the bacon or whatever, right? And then he had some other stuff, grits or something, that he raked on everybody's plate. So I bit into that shit. We all did. That shit was nasty. So we spit that shit out, right? And his friend now, he, like you said, when you full, like he, with us, dad would have been very violent, right? I had to just listen, this is the truth. It sounds terrible, but it's just the truth. Had we said we ain't eating it, he would have beat the shit out of us, right? Now you gonna eat this food.
I remember conversations like that. For sure.
Yeah, but no. I'm gonna tell you what gave us a pass. His partner started puking. I'll never forget it. Dude started throwing up. Dude ate like a couple of bites and stuff. He's like, how you like it? Man, it's okay. It's okay. He threw all that shit up. And then we were like, we looking at him. He said, what's wrong? Man, I don't think he washed the skillet out. I think he had left dishwashing detergent. That shit didn't taste right, bro. I don't know. Something was going. And they, they came back from the club and all of that. And I probably had, because sometimes you don't know what you if you don't cook, you don't know what you're doing. So you put dishwashing detergent in there. And if you ain't careful, you still leave it in there. You put a little oil over that, and then that's going to fuck with the food.
Yeah, you definitely have a soapy residue taste to your food. That's for sure.
Yeah, so he threw up. And that was the first time in our lives, absolute lives, we was able to leave the table on some nasty. And we were, man. We went back to sleep, and he was sort of embarrassed. The next morning, mom wake up, and she was asking us, and that she got found out. She just looked at him, and he say shit, man. He was in rare form. He was sort of humiliated, man, and his friend blew chunks. I can't eat this shit.
Oh man, I'm gonna call my mama later on tonight. Hey man, remember you had me sitting at the goddamn dinner table talking about eat all this food? But yeah, that shit used to have me cracking up.
But you could eat it, right?
Yeah. No, the food is definitely edible. It's just
it's a difference.
Black people, man, they're heavy-handed with food. I'm getting a grown ass man plate, and I'm a young teenager at this time. So it's like, I don't need 2 pork chops, or I don't,
a chop.
But
see, I'm in the South, JR. The people who cook those things are good. You know what? You have to stop yourself because you'll have a heart attack.
Yep.
They can cook a chop out here, bro.
Yeah, I don't eat pork. Now, man. I had a
good
bad experience in Italy. Me and my wife, we were out there, and I had a bolognese. I was eating it. Man, I was sick for about 48 hours in Italy. 2 days of the trip, I'm looking for a restaurant where my stomach was tore up, because in Italy, the meat of choice is pork. So nearly every dish that you would have pork.
What the?
Yep, that's the meat of choice.
Who in that right? Hold on. Charlie, you tripping.
Charlie said, I love pork.
Charlie, you tripping. Charlie, you tripping. Charlie, you tripping. Charlie, stop. Charlie, I didn't say it don't taste good, but Charlie, let that shit go, man.
let it go, man.
You alive and you kicking, man. Stop while you're ahead. Get off that shit, bro. That shit will eat you up.
From the inside out.
Yeah, let it go. Maybe a little bacon or something, but like, the arms and feet and all that extra stuff, let that shit go, man. Please.
Yeah.
I'm begging you. Say some dude on the internet, please.
Only exception I'll make for like pork will be around the holidays. Like, I don't eat ham. I still won't eat a ham, but if the greens, some collards or some mustards got some fat back in it or something like that, I'll do that. Other than that, I'm not messing with no pork, man. Can't do it.
Greens is good, man. If you guys kale and greens, you need to put that in every day, especially you got kids. You got to feed them that every day. That shit make them so healthy, man. And it cuts back on diseases. Yep. It just makes your kids so healthy. When you talk about all these black people, they living to be 110, go and look at what they eat. Because they're poor. They're poor, right? But go and look at what they always talk about greens. So what you have for dinner, cornbread and greens with nothing else.
That's it. And then they grow their own greens. They have a field of greens.
Mm-hmm.
And they got down front yard or backyard or on the side of the house. But yeah, you ain't lying. Cornmeal and greens. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
He's 9,900 years old.
And still healthy too, man. Your
Yep.
granddaddy be 98, and you see him out there picking up some shit, and then you go behind him and you can't touch, like you try to pick it up, damn that pull your arms off.
Throw your whole back out.
Yeah, you said, damn, he just come and pick it up and he putting it on the truck. You be like, that shit was like, I was like, he's 98 years old and I can't budge this shit. And this motherfucker pick it up.
Yep.
And you know how you're a kid, you playing with your friends, some of y'all strong, some of y'all weak, so you think you strong.
Yeah. I've had that humbling experience before. It was with my father-in-law. We going back. My wife, she grew up in a rural area, and so we got there. I asked my father-in-law, "Hey, Pop, you need me to help you, move some stuff around?" He like, "Oh yeah, I actually need help with getting something up off the backhoe." And then I'm like, "All right, I'm a military guy. I'm working out. I'm in the gym all the time. Blah blah blah."
Mm-hmm.
I go over there. I'm like, "This it?" He's like, "Yeah." I go to try to like pick it up. I'm like, "Damn, am do I have the right grip on this thing or what?"
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "You can't get it." My pride wouldn't let me say, "Nah, I can't get it, dog." So I got it. And then I went back in the room and I told my wife, I said, "Man, my back killing me, man." She said, "What?" I said, "Your damn daddy got me out there fucking around with the backhoe and moving shit." But he be out there every day, literally, sun up, sundown, doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Strong as an ox, man. Much
Oh, so he
respect.
picked it up, no problem.
No, I finished picking it up,
Oh, okay.
but it's something I've seen him move several times.
Oh,
And
just
so
like
in my mind, I'm thinking
like
like,
in
"Oh, this is an
full.
easy
I
lift."
got you like in full motion, like
Yeah.
I got you.
I'm like, "This is an easy lift." "Nah, I got you, Pop. I'll go over there and move it, blah, blah. I go in there and tell my wife, I said, "Yo, goddamn daddy got me moving this stuff around. Threw my back out, man."
And hold on, and we got to show this out. Look, Williams Andrews, and don't give me this. He's a troll. Don't give me that. This is the type of racism that I've been talking about. Where's these MAGA people? All these MAGA people in the chat box. This is yours. This is one of yours. This is your racism. White community, this is one of yours. You see this right here? Chimp pulls out a DEA Medal of Honor. This is what I'm talking about.
Wow, that's crazy.
This is what I'm talking about. This is one of yours. This is one of yours. This is one of you guys who come over here pretending to care about, but you don't give a damn about black people. This conversation, this right here, this is what he tells you at dinner, and you laugh at it. This is what he tells you at your sister's wedding, and you laugh at that. Chimp pulls out a DEI Medal of Honor, and you laugh at that. And then you want to know why black people, you attack black people, you don't want black. I thought we were all the same. I thought we were all Americans. I thought we were. We're obviously we're not. This is racism. I want look, if you out there in the cloud, do a stream on this. This is pure racism. He attacked this brother. This brother's been waiting 50 years for what he was due. And he called this brother a chimp.
Nah, it say chump, Platt, but I mean, still, you ain't got to call a brother a chump. It's not chimp, though. It's chump.
Okay, you're right, chump.
But still, to call this man a chump is yeah, that's highly disrespectful.
And this is the type of racism black people have to deal with. And look at this right here. Look at how they whine because of Fox News. Fox News has fed them lies and they believe it. And Fox News is Muppets on ice. Anybody who saw that as a kid or saw it, it was a bunch of Muppets performing. That's all Fox News is. Y'all are the racist ones. How are we the racist ones? This brother had to wait 50 years to get a Medal of Honor. 50 plus years. Yet he's racist.
Yeah.
And Trump dodged, he's a draft dodger.
I find it ironic. And look, definitely salute to this gentleman. I'm not familiar with his name. I'll go and research it though and read up on it. But salute to him and his service, and being a recipient of the Medal of Honor. Like that's a high marking to have, and it definitely can't be looked down upon. But I find it ironic that this has come up during the same week when the first Black 4-star general, Daniel Chappie James Jr., first 4-star Black general, his face and his accolades were removed from the Pentagon. So I find it ironic, right? So it's like, well, let's do this. Let's honor him. Not saying that this man here pictured with Trump, President Trump, is not due of that honor. I'm not saying that he's not due of that honor. He probably is well overdue of that honor. But I find it ironic, the timing, when you have removed the accolades of the first Black 4-star general in Daniel Chappie James Jr. That's what I find ironic. But we'll see. But salute to this gentleman for getting this honor. Like that is a very esteemed honor to have.
And you see that in some kind of way, Black people who want to be treated fair are racist. In other words, as a Black person, you have to accept mistreatment.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that something? If it wasn't for this man right here, do you know how many men would have died? All of their offsprings and wives and kids are alive today because of this man. He's 88 years old. He outlived his wife, the Black man. A Black man. He outlived his wife and his child.
Man,
And it took holy hell to get this man. And Trump and Lindsey Graham, look, I'm going to give them credit. You don't have to. Lindsey Graham pushed it. Trump accepted it. And he bypassed Pete Hegseth, who probably don't want to do it.
Probably did not want to do it.
Yeah. And they finally gave this man an honor he deserved 50 years later. And the white supremacists in the chat box, the fat boys, all of these offshoot MAGA, these racists who hate Black, they mad at Trump. But they don't want Trump to do, they don't want him to do nothing good for Black people.
Hey, Jamal, who removed the first 4-star general? Who did that?
Pete Hegseth.
Mm-hmm.
What's his title? Secretary of War or Defense, however people feel about it. But if he wants to be addressed as Secretary of War, I'll address him as Secretary of War. I had no problem with that. But yeah, no, he did it. Yeah.
And they stick the fat needle in their necks, and they walk around with MAGA hats, and they hate Black people, the fat boys. And this is what we got going. Black people have to contend with that. This Black man who's being honored is a problem. He's supposed to be honored. That's the president. That's what the president does.
Mm-hmm.
He's supposed to keep a certain amount of respect for the office. Trump has forgotten about that. And that's why people are questioning if it's genuine.
Yep.
I see that. I see a lot of people saying this is not a genuine. He doesn't care about this guy. Trump is doing this saying, hey, I need some Black votes.
Well,
Boy,
that's why I question it. Because like I said, I just find it very ironic that this has occurred during the same week when you remove the first 4-star Black general from the Pentagon. Like, his accolades are gone, just removed. I'm like, what? Removed from the website, removed from the building itself? What? How? This man flew over 100 and 70 combat missions in both Vietnam and Korea. And you just erased that? Wow. But, you know, that, like Tabor would say, man, hey, they're in office, so it's fair game. They get to do what they want to do. But I just find it ironic. But again,
and you can join the military and they can say, well, you went to a community college. We don't recognize it. If you want to join, you got to be enlisted. And you can say, you can get mad, or you can say, okay, it's okay. So we're going to enlist you as a E1, the lowest rank in the military. Even though you went to a community college because of your family, but they say that community college don't count because you black. So you go in as a E1. And this is the thing, JR. When tested, when your unit gets attacked, people come back and talk about how nobody fought like you. There was a guy, and he came up and he went into the enemy in a way that none of us did. Like he didn't care. And he took down one, he got another, and he did this, and he jumped, and he moved. And he saved us. And he was the lowest rank. And he got wounded, but he continued to fight. And that's what Capper did. That's what Capper did. And that's what I'm saying. He got a battlefield commission. If you don't get a battlefield commission unless you kicking ass.
Mm-hmm.
So Capper put his foot 4 feet deep in Viet Cong ass, despite the fact that he was from a sharecropper and under Jim Crow. What do you want from him? All of these fentanyl, these MAGA methylene suckers. When are you gonna show some love to the black people? They don't want to do it. They don't want to show no love to black people. This is about hate. They hate him because he's black.
And most likely, and based on what he did for America, more patriotic than you, as you sitting in the comments hating.
They want to suck on the methylene nipple and come and attack black people. That's fucked up, man.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. I just don't understand it, man. But during my time in service, man, it's been plenty of times where I've been, thanked for my service while in uniform, whether no matter the ethnicity, man, no matter the skin color, people have done it. I'm thankful that I never had a run-in really with a civilian that did treated me indifferent.
Bro, I was gonna ask you that, bro. I was just about to ask you, bro.
Yeah,
man.
I never had that.
Thank God you having, bro.
Yeah, I'm very fortunate. I never had that run-in, man. So I've always, people always pay me, to respect. Hey, thank you for the service. Thank you for the service. Thank you for, So that was pretty cool. But I've known people that have experienced, racism while in uniform from, civilians while they're just out. But yeah, I never experienced that myself, so I can't speak to it.
And and the truth is this, like I said, cowards, we dropped a join link for MAGA. They're afraid to come up here. We got the MAGA, you got all these offshoots of MAGA, the racism, and a lot of them, they don't like Trump giving a black man 50 years later what he was due 50 years earlier. They want to say DEI. If this was Charlie Kirk, he'd say DEI. he ain't a black general. How's he not? And who did you get a battlefield commissioner? I mean, commission. Charlie Kirk, did you get a battlefield commission? You got shot in the neck bone. This brother is 88, still alive. He's still alive. You couldn't take it. He's still alive. Despite the racism, despite the hate, despite the lies, this brother, 88, standing out there. He got the Medal of Honor. Charlie Kirk, you couldn't make it past 30. They got you in the neck. So who's the hero?
You crazy, man. They got him in the neck. Come on.
That's a hell of comparison, Flat.
No, who's the hero? Who's the hero, JR?
Depending on who you asking, right?
They know who you
They
ask.
got
That's
Charlie
true.
Kirk. They got him in the neck.
Depending on who you
Show
ask.
some love to Major Caper. Show some love to Major Caper. 88, he's still going. He alive right now. Charlie Kirk, they got him in the neck. You can't respect that? You get caught slipping? That's what we doing now? That's what we doing. He got caught slipping.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's depending on who you ask, man. I mean, you know, so that's all I'll say about that. That it's sad. That's sad and unfortunate, man. No matter, you know, whatever his views were or however outspoken he was towards, you know, my community and his opinions towards my community, nobody deserved to go out like that, man. Nobody. Absolutely nobody.
There you go. They caught Charlie Kirk slipping, but you know what? When they came after Major Caper, guess what he did? He handed them their own asses. He shacked them Vietcom up. 9 items or less. He sacked all them motherfuckers up.
It's a 9 items or less. Crazy as hell, man.
And
So if it would have been 10 items, though, he would have been screwed, huh? But 9, he good.
he sacked them up, bro. And he made it to the chop. He was the last man on. They say that. He still was ready. He was bleeding. He was under fire. And he was whooping ass. And he was the last man to get on. He wasn't running. He wouldn't jump on the top of first. He got on there last. And he was so good. And he did something that's uncommon. They gave this black man doing Jim Crow a battlefield commission. And the white supremacists, you got the meth needle in your arm and in your neck. That's what you thought black people didn't do. But now that man, his heart, that is black people. I want you guys to understand that. His heart, the way he behaved, that's what we are. He brought out the best in us. We will not be defeated.
Based on what you said, man, like I just know, like I'm old enough to realize why certain things played out a certain way, and even though, like when you did comparisons with the two, right, Charlie Kirk and this dude right here, that dude that just getting his just due, right, did way more for you on the back end, doing a hard time for him than the other dude did for y'all, but y'all wouldn't show him respect still. And we all supposed to be American proud. Telling you, man, the thoughts be weird, bro. They be weird, man. And so in most cases, I don't even understand it. Like, you just can't give a dude his flowers in real time when you see he deserve them. I just never got that, man. But people, I don't care what race you are, but people. But your chat for sure.
They waking up, man. A lot of, I still got faith in my chat. A lot of these people come over here one way, they leave different. They know what's going on. No, they know what's going on, man. They done pulled the methylene out their necks.
Man, what is wrong? What's wrong with you, man?
What you mean?
Why are you saying these people pull the methylene out their necks? Like,
They did.
come on,
They're on a different thing now, JR.
Oh, what's the new? I don't know.
And hold on, aren't you you in the hospital doctor?
I'm physical therapist, so I'm not. I'm
You
not.
you understand drugs though, right?
I do understand the
What
compounds.
category would methylene fall in?
That's a cat one. That's a category 1 drug.
It's defined.
Jail time
What's
for
the
sure.
name of it? Methylene.
Yeah,
Methamphetamine.
methylene, promethazine, anything with
Oh,
zine,
Mm.
anything zine, it's considered like category 1. It's it's a stronger use of drug.
Methadone. What's the difference between methylene and methadone?
I'll have to research done
Mm.
because it usually goes by the last 4 letters.
Mm.
Zine, done.
Yeah, Jay, I think it's methadone though. I don't think it's methylene.
don't
And
tell on
let's
yourself,
say that.
JR.
Hold on, I've been deliberately saying it like that to aggravate them, though.
To get people upset.
You said it wrong.
Put them in a different classification of drug category. It could be a class 3 drug that's harmful, that's not harmful, and you categorize it as
Oh,
a
it's
harmful type of drug. You crazy, man. Getting the people riled up, man.
No, they know. They know. They out of it, man. Have you seen West Virginia, JR?
I've never been.
Good Lord.
I do not plan on.
Make sure you take some napkins. You and your wife, your family, make sure y'all take some crying napkins because you're going to need to cry. West Virginia is finished.
Yeah. I thought about it last year.
Fentanyl has ate the bones off West Virginia.
Yeah.
Fentanyl, man.
Thought about
Hardcore
it
now.
last year, and we were going to go to a football game. It was Colorado and West Virginia. We were going to go, me and my wife. And then I reached out to a friend that's from the state of West Virginia. And she said, don't waste your time, man. I said, okay. So I told my wife, I said, nah, we good. We don't have to go to that game.
Damn.
They gave them food stamps. I think JFK started the food stamp programs in West Virginia. And they wanted to suck on that methylene tit that now ain't nobody there. They couldn't get off the crack. They couldn't get off the meth pipe. Ain't nothing in man, it's messed up. Like, it really ain't nothing there. No. If you're looking for a nice house, man, you get a mansion. We talk about this, go to a foreign country, man, in West Virginia. If you want to live there, man, you get a mansion in West Virginia, man. 200,000, bro. You have one of the best, bro. And West Virginia's a beautiful fucking place. Gorgeous.
Place, bro.
Yeah.
But ain't nothing there. And that's why people don't want to live there. Ain't no jobs there. And drugs have eaten that country alive.
Yeah. Nah, I never been. I know they do a lot of they have a lot of special forces like training grounds out there, but I've never been.
It's the mountain, like it out of everywhere in America. It's the mountains, like with the woods. Like you can get away with living in them the way it's made.
You can get a house to board right now with a credit to board. If you can get 40,000 of credit, not money, credit, you can get a nice home, especially if you're willing to, like, on the weekends, fix it up. No, I'm saying maybe you might need another 10 to get a crew to come in and fix something. But if you're willing to do it yourself, like, I'm going to paint it, I can fix this, I can fix that. I'm going to look at YouTube, I can fix this. Okay, electrical, I can't do that. No. This is what I'm saying. A nice property with a backyard that looks like paradise. Now, I don't know how you're gonna deal with the backyard because you got to cut. You got to cut that, and that's too much backyard. I'm saying not in the DR, not in Asia, in America, in West Virginia. It's just ain't no commerce there. Ain't no jobs there.
Yeah, that's what I would question. Like, what's around it? Because if you got a lot of condemned, abandoned homes or old businesses that were condemned or closed down, foreclosed on, then yeah, I go in and buy a property, 40,000, and take another, 100,000 to fix it up and make it whatever I want it to be. but then what is surrounding me? I Google Earth, and I go
They
around
got a
my
dollar
immediate
store.
radius, and everything is run
They got a
down. I
dollar
don't want
store.
to be there.
You can get lotions and cookies. You got a dollar store in there. Milk.
Man, West Virginia is one of the most depressive states, and I done been through every state. That is the most depressing, bro. And I'm talking about
Dollar General.
yeah.
What's wrong with that? You know what, Jr.
No, don't
I
do
don't
me
even
like
know if
that,
you love
man.
America. You be up here hating like a
Don't do
motherfucker.
me like that, man. I knew you was going there. Somebody be hating. I stopped myself. I didn't even say that. All I'm saying, Dollar General, man.
I moved to West
That ain't the
Virginia.
flex.
Yeah, if all
I
you
moved
got
there.
around you is a Dollar
I'm a
General,
different type of
yeah,
dude,
man,
bro.
it's hard
I
time.
moved to West Virginia.
Yeah, if you a criminal, that's a place to be. Well, if you
Okay.
need to duck
Call
off,
me whatever you want to call me. I'll move to West Virginia.
I don't see
And I'm a real one. Now, hold up to boy. Don't play with fire. I'm a real one. I'll cook up some methylene in a minute. I have a bag of methylene. Where you at?
You wild, man.
I'm a better cook. Y'all been going where? Y'all need to come over here. Now, what I'm saying is that ain't my thing, but don't pressure me. I ain't in. No, I'm telling you something, bro. If you got 200,000, look at West Virginia, bro. I'm talking about not only that, the landscape, brother. You can live like a king out there. It is fucked up, and drugs is eating it alive. But man, well, you can homeschool though. What I'm saying is, you don't have to school there. You can homeschool your kids.
As a black man, the last thing I would want to be is that far out in the woods and nobody look like me, because things will get crazy, bro.
You got a gun?
Don't know them people.
You got guns?
That ain't gonna help you. You talking 24/7? Gotta be on your tippy toes.
They ain't coming at you, bro.
Like that.
They on that smoke.
Man, I don't know, bro.
Who you talking about? Zombies?
They on the smoke.
You talking about zombies?
And you got money too.
You ain't gotta fight nobody.
Exactly. They coming for you. They gonna come in the middle of the night. You got some nice things. They coming to take you.
Send the zombies. Okay, send them.
You gonna be coming
When you gonna pick them off?
You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm on my property.
Well,
I'm gonna knock them down
somewhere.
They gonna overrun your property, man.
I swear
I'm too paranoid. I can't, man. I can't.
That's what I'm telling you. You gonna be
man.
playing your old school music all loud. They gonna ride through the four-wheelers, gonna go missing. The boat gonna go missing. Everything
I don't
you
really
got.
do that though. No, Tabor, I don't really play loud music.
Oh.
If I do play loud music, it's gonna be like a love song. I don't play. I get what you're saying, but not, if I lived in West Virginia, I wouldn't play no rap ever.
Yeah, I see. I can't even live like that.
West
I have my
Virginia.
No, man.
Take that from me.
I would not be able to give it up.
I get me a Prius, and I live out there for about 3 years. But no, I don't. Who the fuck gonna floss in West Virginia?
Wow, Prius.
Ain't nothing there. It is a reliable car, a Prius.
Hell
that's what black people do though. They stunt on po folk, man. That'd be the best place to go and stunt. You go pull up to the club, you gonna have everybody. All the little zombies.
Let me tell you something. If you take 3-4 people, you, your sister, the family, you can do that. Go to West Virginia and start your own like colony. No, hold up. Listen to what I'm saying. It's very affordable. You say New York, it costs for $500,000 to live. You out your fucking mind. West Virginia, are you crazy? And West Virginia don't have the violence. When you say Jackson, Mississippi, and ghetto shit, you're right. They're very violent. West Virginia don't have no violence like that. They do have a drug issue, but they don't have no violence.
Because they not. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you tell me. What's up?
They got. I would leave. I mean, this is America, so they go hide numbers. When I first went through West Virginia, I used to do this early in my career. When I go to states, I ask what are they known for? Like food, good food places. West Virginia is the only state that don't have any. They have no culture, no customs, whatever, right? And then the dude goes to tell me about inbred families in the mountains that never get seen. I am not taking no women out there, bro.
No, they do that. No, they do that a lot in West Virginia. And I don't get it, but I guess you got to go there. There are a lot of inbred. They do that a lot. I don't get it. You would have to talk to someone who's willing to tell you the ups and downs of it. But yeah, you do have to deal with that. So if you get a woman from West Virginia, you might have to deal with a legacy of her being inbred. So you might have a couple of toes missing off your babies.
Yeah, who wrote that?
Man.
When I went there, the dude was like, it was a white dude, right? Because there's mostly white people out there. The white dude at the pilot, he ended up telling me about it. And he just stay in well-lit areas. There's not too many of you out here. Like the dude telling me. And I listen to stuff like that. Like I'm from the South. I'm no fool. You feel what I'm saying? If the universe is bringing me somebody to give me some information, I'm going to take heed to it. But yeah, nah, fam. There's an eerie feeling in West Virginia, bro. I've only slept there twice. It's eerie, bro.
A lot of slanted faces, like the Amish community.
Bro.
There's a lot of inbred. So all their faces are somewhat distorted and off.
You know the movie with Chevy Chase back in the day? I cannot think of the movie, bro. It was a movie back in the day, and it was like he was with his wife, and they ended up in some weird place with a weird family. That's the way it's an eerie feeling, bro. Everything just seemed off, but it's everyday life. If that makes everything moves, but it's just eerie, bro. Nah, man, I ain't moving to West Virginia, bro. Nah, I can't be too far from a town.
And JFK, John F. Kennedy, started food stamps. He didn't do that in the ghetto. He didn't do that for black people. Those are white people in West Virginia. He started that program right there in West Virginia. Food stamps. And the white supremacists, hold up, the white supremacists don't want to hear that because they want to pin the food stamps on black people when they get it. They want to pin drugs on black people when they all on the methylene needle. They got the methylene needle in their necks. They got the fentanyl in their arms, but they talking about drugs in black people.
Like I said earlier, bro.
In addition, hold up, boy. In addition, they incestual. So they mess up and they come into the house and they crawl into bed and their daughter, who's underage, and they smashing their daughter at 13 and 12.
Oh, come on, man.
Full of methylene. Full of the methylene.
Come on,
with a MAGA hat on, talking about they support Trump.
Come on, man. Why are we talking about that?
Trump supporter.
Nah, Platt. Come on.
With a methylene tube in his neck.
We ain't got to talk about that, man. There's no need.
It's tough out here, JR.
That's crazy, man. You see how it just rolled off his tongue? He just let it fly, too. Come on,
He was waiting on it. He was waiting on that.
Oh, man. That's crazy.
Listen, man, you get a couple bands, especially a couple 100,000, man. Don't go moving in the middle of nowhere. I mean, go grab you a little spot out in Houston, maybe go to Conroe, some little small town outside of a major city. Don't go too far off, bro. Ain't nobody that want to hear you missing, bro. I'm just saying, that's just me. I'm a country boy, but I got to draw a line somewhere.
Yeah, nah, I'm far from country, man. I'm a city boy at heart, man. I have my country ways, but I'm definitely a city boy at heart, and nowhere in hell.
Oh, I ain't living in nobody's country. No, sir.
You will catch me living in Platt. I don't care if they selling houses for $10,000.
You feel me?
I give a damn.
You can fix it up though, JR.
Damn. Nope. Be no point, man.
I disagree. A hardworking black man, no bullshit. Hardworking black man can go get his lumber. He can go get he can go get his dimensions. He can add a room to the property. He can knock down walls.
No way.
Bullshit. You can put up a fence.
No way.
And you gotta keep in mind, he may get the wood for cheap, but the way he gotta go get it from gonna be so far away, he gonna pay full price. He gonna be paying cheap prices at the end of the day.
West Virginia is beautiful. So If that matters to you.
Yeah, I just look at very green, very picturesque. I
You can
just
hide
looked
some
up some
things
pictures,
out there.
but it's nowhere in hell, Platt. No way.
Yeah. Ain't enough going on, man.
They up there with one of the cheapest cost of livings in the U.S. That's a problem.
I don't know about cheap cost. I know that they broke out there. I don't know.
No, it's the cost of living. Let me give you the top 5 cheapest states to live. Cheapest states.
Yeah, that ain't it,
They
man.
chewed up some food stamps.
Times got to be ultra hard to even just consider that. I'm
West
going somewhere in
Virginia.
somebody's desert.
Oh, go ahead. My bad.
No.
Good,
We
go
got
ahead.
to shut it down, man. We've been going for a while. And I'm
Okay.
taking hits like I might fall asleep. I don't want to do it on the stream. But so in the meantime, you guys can have a final word. I got to shut this down, man. Look, like, share, support. Like the stream. Likes. Like the stream. Support the platform and hit the Cash App. And
Man,
remember, hold on. You've been invited. We've invited you several times. You have something to say. You're free to join. Here we go, right there. What you waiting on? If not, we got to move on. Go ahead, JL.
All I'll just say, hey, any state with the median rent around $850, nah. Can't do it. West Virginia, 4th on the cheapest state list behind Mississippi. What was the other one? Mississippi, Oklahoma, Kansas, West Virginia, and Alabama was 5th. So nah, can't do it, man. That cheap to live, got to be something wrong with the state. Can't do it.
Like the stream, man. Support the platform. We've been going, man. We finna go ahead and get up out of here. And we'll see you guys again later.